Good Tuesday morning. It's the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum. Had to think about that for a second.
You forget who you were?
I did for a second there.
Boy, oh boy.
Just imagining what it's like to be a Cowboys fan out there today, because that's just wow. And you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. And quite frankly, folks, I don't know if you should be as proud as you have been, because that team is atrocious. Bill Hillistrate, everybody.
How about just the Cardinals are for real, Steve?
Yeah,
how are you going to paint this?
I'm not jumping on that
How are you going to
bandwagon.
paint this? You're going to paint this a negative Cardinals?
No, I'm not going to jump onto that
Boy,
bandwagon
they
at all.
dominated a top-flight team last night. Quarterback controversy. Hall of Fame defensive tackle.
There is no quarterback controversy.
Oh, there is.
No. Unless Jonathan Gannon wants to make it a quarterback controversy. There was zero controversy involved here. This morning, ESPN radio hosts that I was listening to, not local, national, were saying that it should be Jacoby Brissett's job.
Yeah.
Troy Aikman last night and Joe Buck. I mean, we got to trust that genius, Buck, right there. They said that it's Jacoby Brissett's job moving forward. It is Jacoby Brissett's job, unless the Cardinals want to make it a controversial move. It is painfully obvious what it should be. Now, the wheels will fall off at some point. So you got to keep Kyler happy for that reason. But there's no controversy. There's zero controversy. Zero controversy on the quarterback side.
Well, didn't your boy Gannon come out and say that there's no controversy?
He said nothing's changed.
And when he's ready to go, he'll be.
He goes, yep, nothing's changed, guys. Yeah. But then he said, and I have that clip for you guys coming up in a bit. But then he said separately, the way the video was cut, he kind of cut this out. But he goes, "That's just the way I feel." Nobody cares how you feel. It's probably just gas, buddy. It'll pass. Because I was thinking about this. Remember when Fafita first was coming on the scenes at Arizona with Jedd Fisch? And remember that year and Jedd Fisch kept going, "Oh, no, it's not. No, it's Fafita's. It's not his job. It's not his job." And we were all going, "No, it's his job. Yeah, right. You're stupid." That's where we are with the Cardinals. It is clear who your starting quarterback is for the rest of the season until it's not. It is clear what it is. And if it wasn't clear to you before, it's clear to you now. He makes throws that Kyler Murray can't make.
No way. Yeah.
And people go, "Well, it's the Dallas defense just made him look better." No, you've seen it for 3 games now. That's just you looking for an excuse. Dale.
Well, and the thing that even Brooke noticed last night, we were over at Scott and Hillary's.
And Brooke, for the record, even though she married a professional football player,
yes,
does not know football. Like she does not pay attention to it. So
she paid attention for the most part when I played.
Yes. But that was how's Dale doing?
Yeah.
It wasn't breaking down film.
Did he get hurt?
Yeah, it wasn't doing that stuff. So just to be clear, she is not an X's and O's, break stuff down type of a person.
But even she pointed out, and it does look like it, the fact that the team likes playing for Brissett.
You could tell the defense even has a little bit different of a pop in us. Like when a mistake's made on the offense now, nobody hangs their head and jogs off the field. It's like, all right, we'll get them next time. You can notice it's painfully obvious that this team is different, regardless of the coaching staff and what they want to tell you how to do it. And there's 1,000 ways to answer that question, Dale, without throwing Kyler Murray under the bus, without saying Kyler Murray's been benched. There's 1,000 ways to say quarterback. You could just say, "Hey, we got to get Kyler Murray healthy." That's number one. We got to do is get Kyler Murray healthy. And then we have decisions that we have to talk about and discuss. You can answer it that way.
But how long will Kyler stay silent?
Well, he's got $50-something million reasons why to stay silent.
Well, I mean, he's going to get that either way.
But he's going to rock that boat.
It'll be fascinating. Again, because I'm just going to tell you, and I'm not saying this is going to happen with Arizona, but in 91, Troy hurt his knee. Steve Berline came in. We went on a 6-game winning streak. And Jimmy kept saying, when Troy's healthy, he'll play. When Troy's healthy, he'll play. We win another week. When Troy's healthy, he'll play.
And Troy was probably healthy,
And
right?
by about week 4, Troy was healthy.
Yeah.
And it went all the way into the playoffs. So there's no question that the team looks better, feels better. There's just something about it. And again, that's when I talk about the it factor.
Yeah.
I can't tell you, I can't give you 1 through 10 why Jacoby Brissett has it. Other than I know he's got poise, I know he's got an arm, I know this team plays better for him.
Stands in the pocket when he's about to get popped and delivers the football.
And you could go through, but when he walks down that field, the team feels different.
Yeah, I mean, I just watching him play, like even in those losses, I've used the word calm repeatedly, and then you start hearing the players say the word calm. You just notice a calmness about the team. 4th down, he drops back and he just unloads a crappy ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. that bounces on the ground.
Yeah.
If that was Kyler Murray in there doing that, that team would have just laid an egg the rest of that game and been inside them, been beside themselves, whatever. Look what they did afterwards. You could just tell. Even Jacoby was like, "Oop, my bad. Let's go, boys. Let's go, defense." It just feels different. There's a calmness on this team with guys running and stuff to that effect. So we'll get into that. Bruce Cooper joins us today. Spirited talk with him coming up as well. 2 things I want to talk about before he comes in here because it's more of an offensive line situation than anything else. So this offensive, I mean, look, I'll just say this. Jonah, he's had a really nice career. Fantastic career. But there is no doubt that time has passed him by.
He's struggling.
It's is this a case of bad coaching or is this a case of a guy that got older, injured, and just can't compete out there anymore?
No, he looks stiff. He looks like he can't bend his knees and his hips and explosion.
He gets beat. He gets
movement.
beat so easily.
And
doesn't even put up a fight.
And that's age and injuries and remember he missed time last year with the knee, and maybe that's not all the way back. But there's something hampering him physically.
He's only 27 years old. It's not like he's an old man out there and stuff like that. But I have not seen. Well, it's been a while since I've seen a lineman lose it this quickly, and it's bad. I don't even know how you to the point where Will Hernandez is. There were times yesterday where I saw Jonah struggling with his guy. Will Hernandez would take care of his guy and then go over and help him out. And it's just like, so the rest of the line is getting their guys blocked and out of the play. Now we got to go help him on this side. And that happens a lot, don't get me wrong, but it's painfully obvious what's happening out there. And it's just like, I don't know, man. What do you got to protect the guy against himself, don't you? Maybe you don't have anybody else.
Well, therein lies the rub. Do they have anybody? Beecham, he struggled a little bit last night too.
Yeah, has a struggle. Yeah,
but is he a better option? Obviously, whatever they're seeing in practice is telling them he's not the better option right now. But in the meantime, give him some help. Line McBride up over there. Have the running back go over there. Have the H-back come in motion and chip the defensive end.
There was a play where now Dallas disguised the blitz where even Jacoby Brissett didn't see it coming. But it's like, why is there not somebody over there helping him out? Why? It's just they're leaving him out there and stranded by himself. Mm-hmm. And it baffles me. And that comes to play design. You can mask a bad offensive lineman by getting somebody to help him out. Mm-hmm. And the Cardinals are refusing to do it a lot of the time. We saw that against Micah Parsons. Refused to give him help.
Yes.
Until it was too late. And I don't understand the play calling. And like I said, I'm not knocking Jonah Williams, man. He's out there. He's trying to do his job. But there's just something's up with him. Whether he's lost it, whether, like you said, he's injured. But he is a shell of what he should be.
I mean, I always say this effect that, okay, go in with a plan. They think, okay, we can block them man on man and we'll be fine. But you've got to have a backup plan, and you go to it quickly because you see it faster than we see it, that he struggled against that guy.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we're going to try and block Mike one-on-one.
Yeah.
Kind of a dumb idea going in, but we're going to give him a shot.
Nobody else does it.
You know,
so let's
we're
do it.
gonna give a shot. But guess what? After that first pass rush, all right, boom, plan B.
Exactly.
You know,
And it's just have Trey McBride, Higgins, right? Line up on that side and literally just chip the guy and then go out on your pattern. You do it 1,000 times a game. Everybody does it. And it's just like, what is happening? It's just, I don't know. It just, as much as like watching guys, you know, regardless, but watching guys struggle. We talked about this earlier with the Giants guy, right? That was struggling there and they were trying to get him out of the game because he was so blatantly bad. It's fun to like laugh about a little bit, but at the same time, it's like you're just letting this guy fail out there. And that's what you don't want to see. That's where you're like, now you're just being cruel right now. Get somebody to help him out. Period. End of story. It's amazing. Other than that, I thought the offensive line last night was pretty good.
again, and I don't want to be one of those. You got to be realistic with what you saw. The Cowboys couldn't stop you, me, and Kobe.
They drew up some good blitzing, disguised blitzing. That big dude, what was it, 94 for the Cowboys? Is a menace on there. It's just they don't have a lot of guys.
The secondary is not very good.
Yeah,
but give credit where credit's due. Jacoby Brissett played one heck of a game, spread the ball around. Marvin Harrison, is this the key to something?
His dad just needs to call out the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I can't stand when parents chime in. Larry Fitzgerald's dad, Larry Fitzgerald's brother. Now, okay, Marvin Harrison, Sr. Okay. Settle down a little bit. I get you're a Hall of Famer, man. I get it. You're a Hall of Famer. But you're a Hall of Famer, let's face it, because one man threw you the football. Who was an all-time great. Slow your roll on how I wouldn't even be a Hall of Famer if I played for the Cardinals. No, you wouldn't.
No.
Because you don't have Peyton Manning throwing you the football.
That definitely helps you quite a bit.
Just going to throw it out there, Senior. It wasn't all you, Tiger. You wouldn't be a Hall of Famer if you didn't have an all-time great throwing you the football. So slow your roll there, Tiger, first of all.
Just keep that quiet.
That's what I don't get. Why do you open your mouth?
Hey, I can understand being frustrated as a dad. I can see that.
Yeah.
But you don't go to the papers, you don't tweet it, you don't go public, whatever the heck that was.
Well, he gets sat down with the ESPN, Josh Weinford. And for people that are mad at Josh Weinford for doing that story, he just had an interview with the guy. The guy opened his mouth.
Are people mad at Weinfuss?
Yeah, people are mad at it. Same thing when Nick Percorio did the story on the Diamondbacks second baseman. Everybody's all like, "How dare you write that story and put it out?" Like that's their job. They're supposed to interview people, and if they say juicy things, you put it out.
Yes.
Yes. I just don't get I don't get like you said. I understand the dad side, of, but Marvin Harrison Sr.'s been quiet this whole time. He was quiet when he was trying to rip off Fanatics. He was quiet, when he was doing fraud against Fanatics and signing stuff for his kid. And then, my son didn't sign that. Turns out he did. He was quiet through all of that.
Right.
And his son can't. Let's not forget. His son has had balls thrown directly into his hand that have gone off his face mask and he's dropped them. Let's not forget that. That's not on the team. That's not on the system. That's on your kid, buddy. But I just don't understand why you go to the papers and bash an organization and say things like, well, I wouldn't even be a Hall of Famer. You wouldn't be a Hall of Famer if you played for any other team, Tiger.
That's very true.
You're a Hall of Famer because of the guy throwing you the football. You have talent. Don't get me wrong. You had talent. But you had a guy that did exceptional things that most people in the NFL do not have. All-time great throwing you the football. Slow your roll, Senior.
The other thing I want to say, get out there. I just love the way the Cardinals defense played. I love the aggressiveness of Nick Rawlis.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter, continuing to bring pressure.
Finally.
Continuing to bring pressure.
They weren't doing that for a while. That's why they lost.
And we're sitting there watching, and all of a sudden I'm like, who made that tackle? And Walter Nolan. What? He beat the left guard for the Cowboys like he was a turnstile at a train park.
Well, it's because they don't have film on him yet. His first game.
Oh.
It
You will.
starts.
You trying to ruin just
I
about
know.
everything, don't you?
Now, I'll say this about Walter Nolan III: 4 tackles on the day, 3 solo, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, 1 force, pass defended there as well, 1 QB hit. But he was disrupting. Him and Josh Sweat were disrupting what Dak and that offense wanted to do.
Him and who?
I'm sorry. I'm in Sweat. Josh.
Yeah, well, that's not what you said.
What would I say?
I have no idea what you said.
Sorry. Well, whatever. I meant Sweat. Number
Okay.
10. Number 10. The fun thing about this is I'll just tell you, I can't wait to see Nolan the third in person. They really talk about his explosiveness, and I've kind of been like, whatever.
Right.
Just practice, whatever. Shut up. Doesn't make sense. Dude, that guy, and there's a couple times I was like, he's offsides. No, he was just off the ball so quick in that offensive lineman's grill so fast that I was like, okay, I see the explosiveness. I see the explosiveness now.
He jumped off the TV screen
Yes.
at you versus Darius Robinson just kind of being a plodder out there.
Was he out there?
Well, I'm just saying when I've seen him
Yeah,
out there. You don't notice him.
Robinson was out there.
Yeah, quite like you notice Walter Nolan.
No, I'm not kidding. No, I'm not kidding. There were times I wasn't even watching the defensive line, and even I was like, oh, wow, there he is again.
Yeah.
No, he jumps out. So that's why I'm like, oh, my God, in person, this is guy. I told that story before about J.J. Watt, where I was like, J.J. Watt, he's overrated, like in Houston. And then the first game I saw him play for the Cardinals, I went, I get it.
Yeah.
Your eyes just get drawn. It doesn't matter where the ball's going. I mean, your eyes get drawn to 99. And
Yep.
I was like, okay, I get it now. It's different. I anticipate that with Nolan now. I mean, he's just got a speed. He's got a motor. It's kind of fun to watch.
Now, yeah, let's now hope that he can stack another game on and another game on, and it wasn't one debut
I know.
moment that going against a suspect Cowboy line.
Yeah.
But,
No, I think when you're that doesn't mean he's going to have a ton of sacks. It doesn't mean any of that. But what he will do, I'll tell you this, is he's going to free up Josh Sweat to make some more tackles and get in the quarterback's face in a minimum, because now you have 2 guys. Finally, at least 2 guys now on that line you got to worry about.
well, there's the third one that you better be worried about too.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking. Did you hear George Bush before the game? He went out there to throw that thing, and the hot mic caught him on the coin toss, and he goes, "Good God, man!" And he looks at Calais.
He was looking at Calais.
Yeah, all you hear on the mic is "Good God, man," and his little Texas drawl. It was kind of funny.
Well, I think that's what a lot of offensive linemen are saying.
I say that when I sit up in my seats and I see Calais on the sideline.
Yeah, he's a different human being.
Hey, he's not standing next to small people.
No,
and
he's standing next to 6'5" guys.
Yes. And he looks big compared to them. It's like, what in the world is happening out there? Text line, Flash Gordon. Don't forget, text us 623-252-6670. Hit us up, of course, at TME Sports Show as well. Get your Cardinals thoughts in. Bruce Cooper's joining us today, as always, here on Tuesdays. And Flash says, Steve, Kyler's very sensitive. I believe that he has been benched and he won't be here next year, and they're just trying to protect him. I mean, it is. So benched is a word that I hesitate to use, but it's best word to describe what's happening. Kyler Murray, I question if there's a foot injury. I really do. Let's be clear about this. I question, like, he might have a 3-week-long concussion, right, after that ball snapped off his face. But I question if there's a foot injury. Because, if it's a Liz Frank, if something to that effect, you're in a walking boot. Kyler Murray's not in a walking boot.
No.
Never has been. How bad is the ankle if you're not in a walking boot? That's what I'm questioning, right? That's what it doesn't make sense in my, mind. And I'm not a doctor. I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, but that's what I question. But I mean, he's been put on ice for a few weeks. Even if it's Dale. Hey, Jacoby, Jacoby's not the guy for 17 games. I think most of us can admit that, right? He's for a few games. Hey, let's have Jacoby go in there and play, 4 or 5 games, 6 games while you heal. Then we'll bring you back, man. Bring you back. Let's get you back out there.
Yeah, why don't all of a sudden you go on a little bit of a run?
That's the danger. If Jacoby has you go on a run, you're obviously not going back to Kyler anytime soon. But that's what I believe has happened. They've sat down with Kyler and like, let's get you right, and let's stay where we are. Let's stay what we're doing. Let's stay with this momentum. And you can even sell it as, hey, I believe quarterbacks learn more. Starting quarterbacks that struggle learn more when they get quote unquote benched on the sideline. Now you got to figure out if Kyler's one of those guys that's able to learn.
He's been around 7 years. What's he going to learn and sit around for a month?
Sit in the pocket and throw the ball to the open guy instead of running.
Trade deadlines today, though, Steve.
2 p.m. our time coming up.
You think that there's a chance there'd be a blockbuster trade?
No chance in hell because your salary cap hit would be outrageous this year.
Okay.
It is coming in the offseason, though. There's just no way. Here's the problem. There's nobody in this draft that you want as a quarterback. Name a free agent quarterback that's coming out that you're going to be like, oh, my God, let's go get that guy. Kyler's got talent. Trust me. You let Kyler go, and there's a chance he's going to go to another team and have some success. And then everybody's going to go, oh, it's coming. But I do believe that's kind of what's happening with Kyler is there's a mutual understanding. I'm not going to use benching. I'm going to use they are protecting him a little bit. Let's put it that way. They're protecting him and trying to, and there was a conversation. That's all I'm going to say about it. I'm not reporting anything. It's just that's what's happening. And to me, it's obvious it's happening.
Well, obviously, when Bruce gets in here, we'll talk more about that. Did you happen to see what happened about 4 hours north of us last night?
4 hours north of us?
Yeah.
Flagstaff?
No, that's 2 hours.
Grand Canyon?
No. In Las Vegas?
Utah? That's 5 hours from my house. Some of us live in the Far East Valley.
4 hours from civilization, from regular people.
What happened in Las Vegas last night? The Knights? Did the Knights win?
Did you happen to see that kid who grew up about 20 minutes
No idea what you're
away
talking
from
about.
Tempe?
I had that game on my computer.
My goodness gracious.
Kid's a stud.
My goodness.
Against the defending national champions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who we talking about?
Koa Pete. I'm telling you, he's giving Arizona a championship, man.
I don't know if he's giving him a championship, but it's
He
a
plays
debut.
like that.
30 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists against, as you said, the defending national.
Who number
Yes,
3
Trevor.
team ranked, and they brought back a lot of guys.
Yes. I mean,
This isn't a team that's like a bunch of freshmen. They're like, oh, we just brought in all these new guys. No.
And obviously, I was concentrating on the Monday Night Football game, so I didn't get to see a lot of.
Yeah, I
But
had
you
it on.
know, it's a special debut when you flip over to ESPN after they're done with their football coverage. The first thing you see is, and we
Yeah.
take you out to Vegas. Koa Pete. They spent a good
Did they? I didn't watch
45
it.
seconds of highlights.
Did they?
On his
Yeah,
dunks on it.
They could have done 30 minutes of highlights on top of it from that. 93-87 victory by your Arizona Wildcats. Oof. I'll say this, because a lot of people are like, oh, how dare him not choose ASU and all that stuff. This is why ASU loses out on those recruits. The environment that Arizona can put you in, you're not going to match in Tempe. You're just not. I don't care how good you are. Would he get some fanfare up here? Yes. Would he dominate games? Yes. But you're not going to get that go and dominate against, like I said, the defending champions, number 3 ranked, and then, dare I say it, dominate. He was the best player on the court.
Yes.
It wasn't even close. I'm watching it, and I turned my head to watch football for a play. I turned back to it, and he'd be doing so, and I'd just be like, oh, dear God, like, what is happening? I saw a lot of national basketball people just be like, watch, Koa Pete, watch Pete. If you guys aren't watching Koa Pete right now, national guys, Seth Davis, I'm talking big name guys.
Well, because I think they overlooked him a little bit. He's been on every damn United States team, the 12U, 14U, 16U, 18U.
you know why? You know why they overlooked him?
Well,
He didn't do any of that He didn't do any of the stuff that the other big name kids were doing.
Yeah, he did
you
his
know.
way. His
He
way.
did it his way. He didn't go to all those basketball camps. He did some of them, but he didn't
Right.
go to all of that stuff. The national record where Seth Davis goes and watches, the best of the best in high school play each other, and then so he knows them as freshmen.
Right.
He didn't do any of that stuff. That's why they kind of overlooked him. And I'll say this also because I watched a lot of highlights last night. I obviously didn't watch a lot of it because of the football game, but there's a lot of good true freshmen this year in college basketball that were on display last night. But good for Arizona. I'll tell you.
How
I'll
about
tell you
having
this.
that family, Steve?
No, I don't want to. They make me
Andrew
sick.
Speed. What's he in his 12th year?
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't he about to retire?
Yeah, I mean, he's been
Yeah.
playing 12, 13, 14 years.
Yeah.
And then here comes Koa Pete. Their daughter was super talented.
Yeah.
She got a full ride playing. I'm not sure if it was basketball or softball. Good on you, Todd
I
Pete.
want to say. Well, that's the thing. Do you think like Todd Pete and his wife, they were like, all right, we got Anderson. He's really good, but maybe we should try to get something better. And then daughter's better, and then Koa's better. I don't know. If I had that talent in my genes, I'd just keep having kids, man. I'd just be until one fails. Then I'd be like, you're a disgrace to the family.
Can we put you back in the oven? What a family, though. What a family. It was just.
And there,
Again,
and
it's full of
I've only met him like peripherally. I don't know him at all, so I want to be clear on that. But nicest family on the
Yes.
planet too.
Quiet, unassuming. They did things their way.
Koa Pete could walk in here right now, and you wouldn't even know the game he had last night.
Right.
He would just sit down and talk to you. Like, wouldn't even bring it up. If you didn't know that he had that type of a game last night, you would have no idea. 'Cause
Looked like
ain't
he
gonna
was
tell you.
having fun,
Oh my God, the
smiling.
smiles.
Ah,
Seriously. He was running down the court one time where he was just like almost like, I can't believe I'm playing right now. Just wide-eyed, excited.
enjoy him for the 1 year you
Yeah.
got him, Tucson.
That's the problem. Is, he ain't sticking around if he plays like last night and stuff. No doubt about that. And it's going to be fun to watch. I mean, I'm not an Arizona basketball fan by any stretch. I'm not a Tommy Lloyd fan by any stretch of the imagination. But they're going to be fun to watch with him there. Where did he go to school? That's right, Gilbert Perry. Just saying.
Oh, 3-time Gatorade Player of the Year.
Yeah. They only win at 3. Slacker.
The other thing I was going
4
to say
championships.
is that I heard somebody talking about, U of A gets started last night. ASU gets started tonight.
Oh, they got a vaunted schedule tonight.
And they asked Bobby Hurley what about this year's squad. He said, I really don't know what to expect. And he goes, but I know they like each other.
Let's put it this way: for Bobby Hurley, that's a positive thing because they haven't liked each other in the years past.
Steve, you and I like each other. I don't think we're going to win a whole lot of college basketball games.
No. I mean, look, they got that vaunted schedule tonight. Southern Utah Thunderbolts on the schedule for tonight, Dale. Dare I say this? I'm going to make this prediction right now because I also had the ASU women's game on last night, and they won. Molly got her first win for ASU last
Came
night
over
as
from Grand
well.
Canyon.
Yes, Coppin State Eagles. They won 67-53. I'm not expecting huge things this year from her, right? But she's going to be able to recruit girls here and all of that stuff there. But the women's basketball team is going to overshadow the men's team this year. Partly, I mean, look, she's a good-looking girl. That's going to kind of lead it to that side too. But they played hard, and I just have no confidence in
Bobby Hurley is the
Hurley.
basketball equivalent of your boy Kyler Murray. We've
That's-
seen what he can do. This isn't his first rodeo.
Yeah. He can't win. He can't win with talent. He can't win without talent. He can't win. That's basically it. Can't keep anybody happy here. And blame the facilities all you want. The facilities have something to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
But once the game tips off, that does not give you the excuse of how bad you play and how you can't compete. I mean, look, Arizona. Did you see that one dude on Arizona, the center? That's a big dude. Did you see his jersey get ripped yesterday? He totally ripped off.
No, that's
Yeah, he got his jersey ripped. It's like it's just hanging off, hanging off. And he's like looking at the ref like, how's that not a foul? Look at my jersey's ripped. It was ripped from like the top to the bottom and just swinging wide open and everything from that. But yeah, so the ASU men's get underway tonight. Women last night got their first win in the Molly Miller era. And then Grand Canyon University. Look, they're in that new conference this year, right?
Yep.
Mountain West is what they've moved to, and they got their first victory, 90-71 over Fort Wayne Mastodonsdale, the vaunted Mastodon. I will say this. GCU is going to look like they have a letdown this year, but that's because they're not playing in the WAC. They're playing in a harder conference. They should finish third, fourth, or maybe fifth if they have a quote-unquote bad year in that, but it's going to be a letdown year for them because they're just simply in a harder conference. They're not playing the Tarleton States of the world and all of that. Well, they are going to do a non-season, but once the other season gets there. But they did get their win last night. Good for them. Good for them.
Good. So will ASU men's team be the only team that loses this week?
Do you think they lose to Coppin State? I'm not Coppin State. Southern Utah Thunderbirds. Are you going to the game tonight? Arizona State has them, Utah Tech, then they play Gonzaga. You better win these first two because you're going to get destroyed by Gonzaga. I don't care how well they like playing together, Dale. That's all I got to say on that.
They like each other, Steve.
Great. I love that that's your response.
We're 2-8, but we like each other.
Does he get, let me ask, in a serious question, does he get fired in the middle of the season? We'll ask Bruce this as well. Does he get fired in the middle of the season? Or
I don't. I think if it goes like it's been going and they hover around 500 and whatever, no. I mean, if things go completely off the rails.
You know, I'll say this. They're not going to be a bottom feeder in the Big 12. They will compete. They won't be, you know, one of the worst 3 or 4 teams. They'll be closer to the middle than they are the bottom, but it's still going to be disappointing with no growth. That's the problem that they're going to be dealing with. How many guys get in trouble for gambling after they leave after the season? Over under 1 that we have this year is the bigger question.
I don't understand it.
Geez. We got World Series ratings coming up too, man. Just Game 7. NBA basketball.
Actually, I'm really interested to hear because I've at least been told that Canadian ratings don't count.
They do not.
And that could really throw a linchpin.
Well, here's the thing. I'll just tell you real quick. I mean, NBA Finals went to Game 7.
Yes, that vaunted dream matchup of Indiana and
Oklahoma City. And with Halliburton going down with a Achilles injury halfway through that series. 16.4 million people watched the NBA Finals Game 7 by itself.
Okay.
25.9 million people watched the World Series Game 7 by itself.
And does that include Canada or no?
That number, let me pull up a different.
I bet you it's got to.
Let me pull. It's got nobody watched. I did see that something like 40% of Canadian televisions were on that World Series. So the Canadian number is huge. From that, let me pull up a different source here real quick, and then we'll take our break. And go with get Bruce on here as well. I got to find it here if I can. I tell you what, let me see if I can find it to see. I mean, it's got to, right? With how many people, just so many people. Right. Here's the other side of it. Got to keep in mind, too, a large portion of the country couldn't watch football this week, for Game 7 on Saturday because of ESPN, ABC thing. So how many people stumbled into Game 7 of the World Series just because they couldn't watch sports? Because 2 giant conglomerates worth trillions of dollars are having hissy fits with each other. YouTube TV doesn't get ABC.
Okay. I did not even know
ESPN. That. So that's the other thing. I put it out on Twitter last night. The Cardinals played the game of the season last night for them.
Okay.
And millions of people couldn't watch it because 2 giant conglomerates are acting like children out there and fighting over pennies to them. Dollars and their stuff, and If I was, I'll tell you this. If I was Google, every time a media rights package comes up, I'm outbidding Disney and ABC and ESPN. I'm outbidding them. I'm putting out godly number out there. I would ruin their business if they're playing these hard games like you're reading they're playing and stuff to that.
Really?
effect.
Okay.
I saw Disney because I do the business show. Disney
Yeah.
actually said Google's worth $3 trillion and they're fighting with us over a few million. If I'm Google, I'm just saying, every time a media rights package comes up and ESPN wants it, I'm slamming it. I'm slamming it and making it hurt if they end up getting it. Kind of a deal. Just to do some playback here. So when we come back, Bruce Cooper joins us. Victory Tuesday this week.
Is he up already?
Oh, I hope so because he's in the room.
Oh, he is. 8:30 is awful early for the retired guy.
Come on back, folks. The main event. Bruce Cooper up next. Tell them to pony up some more. They have a lot of money. We're talking about Dale Hellishay's bank account here, folks.
Yeah.
During the break there as well. And you know what Tuesday means Bruce Cooper joins us here on the program. Local legend, as I've started to call him. He doesn't like that, folks. But that's what I've started to call him there. How you doing, Bruce?
Well, I'm doing great. You know, when you mentioned Dale and all that money that he has, you know, I'm a little chapped at Dale because
Uh-oh.
when the holidays or something come around, I used to go to some place called Cookies by Home or Cookies
Yeah.
from Home or something like that,
Yeah.
and they hook you up with a nice little bouquet. You know, some guy let that business go by the wayside.
I know. And they just closed permanently, too.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
outrage.
30 years, Coop.
It's an outrage, man.
Almost did as long as you were a news anchor.
And you know why he gave up on it, too? Customer. She didn't like you guys. Much like this program. Dale was like, I'm done with the people that buy cookies. They're such a-holes.
I know
selling
when
it.
I sold the store that I lost some weight, too. So
Yeah, you're like a bartender. You never sample your own stuff, right? You walk out of there drunk and stuff like that. I never had the pleasure of trying the cookie store.
no.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Dale actually sent a bouquet up to the station once, and so
Yeah.
it was happening to munch on one or two, or three or four. And I said, "Hey, these aren't bad." So I started going and buying them for special occasions.
People love cookies, man. Like, so I was at NASCAR this weekend, and I'm walking out of the media center, and I had a plate, and I had 2 cookies on it, 2 brownies on it, and I walk out, and the drivers are having their meeting, so like people are just lined up, to meet the drivers. And I walk out with just a plate of 2 cookies and 2 things, and like the looks people were giving me, and they were giving the plate of cookies. People just love their cookies, man.
They do it with
I thought I was gonna get
thing
mobbed.
Thing about our store was we had decorated cookies, so you put them in a bouquet. That you can make roses, you can make
okay.
whatever, and you look at it for 2 or 3 days, and you eat them. Rather than sending roses, you look
They
at them
die.
2 or 3 days, and they
Yeah,
die.
yeah.
And so it ended up being a pretty good idea, but then a lot of competitors started coming in. So Not
like
like
I said.
Coop. Hey,
Well,
it didn't end up like Coop's weekend did. This is a perfect weekend for you, Coop.
It was. It was the weekend of the backup quarterback. I mean,
Oh,
Jeff Sims got his first win as a backup quarterback with ASU. Jacoby Brissett got his first win as a backup quarterback for the Cardinals. Hey, look! I'm reveling in euphoria and victory this weekend.
the best part
The
is
Suns win 2 games.
yeah.
Hey,
Suns win 2
Spurs.
games.
Hey,
Take down the Spurs who were undefeated coming into that
yeah,
game.
and you know what? That's really shocked me during their 2 games. See, we see Ott has kind of changed up his lineup a little bit.
Mhm.
He's starting to use Jordan Goodwin a lot in combination with Colin Gillespie
Yeah.
and Mark Williams. We have not seen Dylan Brooks because we know what he brings. We haven't seen him on the floor during this stretch, this 2-game win streak. But I'm telling you, those guys are competing very hard on the defensive end of the floor. They're coming up with loose balls. They're getting second chance opportunities. I'm like, wow, who is this team?
Coop, I saw on, and I'm going to get it probably mixed up, but one of those games, no, it was against San Antonio.
Yeah.
I saw a Suns player dive on the floor.
Here we go.
Dive, a Suns player number 1, dive on the floor. And then I thought I saw, did that last name on the jersey start with a B? And I went,
Booker.
I literally ran it back and said, I don't know the last time I saw Booker dive for a ball on the court.
Hey, let me tell you something. The energy, the tenacity, the aggressiveness, that Ryan Dunn, Colin Gillespie,
Yep.
and Jordan Goodwin are bringing on that floor. I think it's infectious.
Yes.
Mark Williams and Nick Richards are protecting the basket very well and scoring from the post extremely well as well.
Right.
And Oso Ighodaro, I mean, he's probably a little bit too over aggressive. I mean, he's picking up fouls at an inordinate rate, but I mean, you gotta love his aggression. So we're seeing from the Suns in 2 games, short 2 games, what we
Yeah.
didn't see in 2 years during the Beal and Durant era.
I am so with you on that. And again, they're fun to watch, which is what when Steve and I talked before the season, what are you looking for? I want to have fun watching the Suns again. And you played basketball through high school. Hey, 1 or 2 players can light up the entire team.
Absolutely. And look, I'm done watching Nigel Hayes
Yeah.
Davis. I mean, let's get. I don't need him. I really wasn't a big Royce O'Neal fan, but right now he's shooting the 3 extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to play him. But if you roll the dice going forward, at some point, both Brooks and Jalen Green will make his son's debut.
Yeah.
How does
Maybe.
that
Maybe.
How does that impact the Suns' rotation
Yeah.
and their playing, the players that play? Because right now, I don't want to take away any minutes from Gillespie
Well,
and the way
Yeah.
your boy Jordan Goodwin's playing right now.
Don't you think, though, that it's going to be Colin Gillespie who's probably going to be most affected by those 2 coming back?
Well,
yeah, definitely Jalen Green, right? Because Jalen Green's going to handle the ball.
Well, look, Jalen Green's a definite talent, but Colin Gillespie, he brings a floor generalship to the team. He really does. I mean, he slows things down when they need to be slowed down. He gets people in the right places. Matter of fact, he can dribble drive across the lane and stuff like that, circle back out. He can do those Steve Nash type things. I'm not saying he's Steve Nash, but he does those types of things that remind you of what Steve Nash used to do.
Right.
I'm not willing to get rid of his minutes. He's
No.
a very good shooter
I
as
don't
well.
disagree. I think I know when Green comes back, he's going to be. But I think Colin needs to be the starter right now to get that energy right off the bat. But he's changed the lineups.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that shocked me the most, because I said it after the Jazz game, the first game, and then they went away from it. It's just their coaching is making adjustments during the game that you notice, and the defense, just like you see, I said the what they did to employ to stop Wemby, who's had an all-time start to the season. what they did to stop him in that game when he's on fire just shows you that this coaching staff, they listen to him and they're making the right moves and the team's deploying it. That's what's most exciting.
But
to me.
it was the energy, it was the second effort, it was the relentlessness, it was the aggression that just wore Wemby down. I mean, he got frustrated just because the Suns were overly aggressive with him, and so that's an adjustment he's going to have to make now, because I guarantee you they're going to be the other 29 teams are going to look at how, or 28 teams, because the other 28 teams are going to look at how the Suns defensed him, and they say, hey, look, this may be the new book on him, and so Wemby will have to make that adjustment. But I guarantee you, those other 28 teams, they don't want to expend the type of energy that the Suns did over 48 minutes. They don't want to do that.
It's crazy, and I know we're going to go heavy Cardinals and all that. One other thing I want to say, we just touched on it. There's a game that took place about 4 hours away from here on the next level
Yeah,
down
let's
from
talk
the
about
NBA. A kid from your neck of the woods played down at U of A and himself quite a day. I was like, he was thinking, then bam, the light went on.
Really quick, Suns Golden State tonight, 8 p.m. Tip-off for that. I'm excited to see the Suns game tonight because of the way they played the last couple. It seems like they found something out, but cool Pete, man, you got to talk about him.
Yeah, look, 30 points, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I just didn't expect that, really, to be honest with you. I never really looked at Koa as a big scorer. He's just a guy that can stuff the stat sheet from 3 different areas. Maybe points, rebounds, assists, the blocks. But he was actually a very, very effective offensively. I think he was like something, 11 of 18 from the field, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and
Wow.
his activity that created second opportunities. Look, if he plays like that for the balance of the season, U of A is going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, he had 7 rebounds, 5 assists in this game as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it wasn't just his shooting;
That's
it
what he
wasn't
said.
his offensive.
That's what he
side.
did in high school. He stuffed the stat sheet like that. Nothing really gaudy from a point standpoint. He'd get you 17, 18, 19, 20 points. But I mean, see what he did in his debut against the defending national champions. Look, that's pretty special.
And it's not, and like I said, I was telling Dale, I had the game on while watching the Cardinals, and it's not like Florida's taken a big step back this year.
No.
I mean, they're still ranked 3rd, but they're going to be a really, really good team. And Arizona just went and dare I say, dominated aspects of that game yesterday from there. And now you shut down Koa Pete. You got Jaden Bradley for Arizona that can kind of step
Bradley's
up.
playing very well. I think he's going to be their leading scorer. I think he's going to be the key to that team success.
You know what's interesting is I didn't watch any of the U of A game. I was watched the Cardinal game last night, and then went and watched the local news, find out whether. And then I flip back to ESPN, and the first thing I see, 45 seconds of Koa Pete highlights. I mean, come on now, Coop. 45 seconds on ESPN.
Yeah. Hey, look, there are some very, very talented freshmen that are making their debuts this season in college basketball. BYU freshman, the Bansma. I mean, he's off the chart. I think Tennessee has Peterson, Darren Peterson, and look, he's special. I mean, I think those guys, either one of those guys will be the first overall pick. But look, what Koa did down at U of A is definitely worth noting.
Yeah.
And look, I'm excited to see how the season plays out.
Yep.
I mean, it's it was a fantastic start for them. Molly Miller for ASU women's. I said it when you walked in. I said the women's program at ASU is going to overshadow the men's program this year in terms of eyeballs and people paying attention to it. At least got their first win last night with her. Obviously, big expectations with her coming over from GCU, and then Bobby Hurley gets underway today.
Yeah, look. I didn't watch the women's game, but reading the box score, reading the recap of the game, they were underwhelming. They really struggled offensively.
Talk about offensively, they did, yeah. But they played tough defense.
Yeah, their defense is what won it for them, and so that's her signature anyway.
Yeah.
So that's good. As far as Arizona State and Bobby Hurley is concerned, I'll say this: for the first time in the Hurley era at Arizona State, he's got multiple bigs on the floor. I remember he had a Jordan Baczynski guy
Yeah,
that
he
was
had a
like
bunch of
7'3", 7'4", that could block shots or whatever. But he's got some international kids that have come in with a lot of size, 2 7-footers, which is very rare in his era. Then he's got another 6'9" transfer international kid that can really shoot the three, and a 6'10" transfer from, I believe, San Diego State, Santiago, if I'm not mistaken. So he's got some size. He has not had that type of depth, that type of size.
No, he's always had the point guards that couldn't
Yeah.
score.
Yeah, and so it's going to be interesting to see what they can do from that standpoint. Maurice Odom, point guard they're bringing over from Pepperdine, he's a very solid player.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure about all the other pieces in and around, but I'm anxious to see how it all fits together.
So Bobby Hurley in the past has not won with talent.
He
has not won without talent. He obviously hasn't won at all.
Well,
for the most part.
there was the unit that he had.
Was that 2019 or so?
They were very fun to watch.
Yeah.
He had Trey Holder, Shannon Evans, and the kid from Dobson High School. I can't think. He was a great shooter.
I mean, guys, that guy's a all around stud going to Dobson.
Yeah, no,
Not to produce anything, but
he was a great shooter. They had those three guards. Those three guards.
I know you're talking about.
Anytime they could be down by 20, and in a blink of an eye, they shot them. Cody Justice. That's what it was. Cody Justice, Shannon Evans, and Trey Holder. Those three guys, when they had that team, that they were very fun to watch, very exciting.
I mean, they made the play-in game, a couple, 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
He had some success, but it's just Bobby Hurley has struggled to grow on it and do all that stuff. So now he's turned to international players, and he said in his press conference at Big 12 Media Day, they're more experienced. They've been playing professional for a while. They're more experienced. So I want to bring in here. What this tells me is this is the last gasp of Bobby Hurley. He's like, look, getting all these high recruits, getting these good players to come here hasn't worked out for me. I'm going to go get some international kids that have played in oppressed areas and areas where, basketball is popular, but, there's a lot of other issues in those areas. I'm going to bring him here, and maybe they'll play well for me.
Well, I think he's got to try something new because he's had 2 classes that were top 10 classes, highly celebrated players. One was decimated with injury, and even last year, I mean, they're big
that
guy.
big tall guy that they lost with what is a calf injury or whatever. The 17-year-old. I can't remember his name now.
Yeah,
but,
he transferred over to where did he go? No, he went. Yeah, he went. I think he followed Patino, didn't he? Is that where he went?
that I don't remember where.
No.
I think he's playing for Rick Pitino.
Well, this is the last year of Bobby's contract.
St. John.
Lame duck coach going into it. It always seems like he got the wrong 5-star. What did he get? He got 3 or 4 5 stars over his career.
Josan Sanin was a highly celebrated kid. But we both can't think of the big man.
Last year, a guy.
He was
17-year-old kid. I can't think of. I can picture him right now
Yeah.
though. But I mean, even before that, he had Bagley.
Oh, sure.
Bagley, and who was the other kid they had that year? 2020.
He was the first Christopher, I believe. He was the first
that's
round,
it. Yep.
First round pick.
So it's just talent. And his exact quote here from Media Day is he believes international players, and this caught my eye. They're more experienced. He says better coached and less expensive than American players.
They're definitely very less expensive.
They
No
are.
doubt about that.
But the fact he threw that these players are better coached, right off the bat, I went, this is Big 12 Media Day like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And I went, ooh, yeah, he knows he can't coach these kids. He can't coach the Americanized kids right now.
Yeah.
So now he's going to go international because they come in with better coaching for him to do it. That threw up a big red flag in my eyes.
Yeah. Look. Bobby's got his back to the wall. I mean, this is basically a do or die
Yeah.
season for him. There's a reason why Rossini didn't extend him.
Mhm.
So Bobby knows he has to win, and so like we just talked about. I mean, he's had the highly celebrated classes that haven't worked out, and I think he had two in a row, and it would have been three in a row making the tournament if it weren't for the COVID
COVID year,
season.
yeah.
But even when he made,
But that
even in
team
those
hated
years,
each other.
They're
That team hated each other.
Yeah, they're one and done even when they get in the postseason there. So Bobby's not enjoyed a great deal of success, and so. Look, I'm a Bobby Hurley fan, I'll tell you why.
Jaden Quintons is his
Jaden
name.
Quinns is
It
you're
was
absolutely
killing me.
right.
I had to look at it. It was
Absolutely.
killing me.
Yeah, and I've looked at what ASU has had from a head coaching standpoint. I
Mhm.
mean, I think probably Bill Frieder's been probably the biggest name that's
Right.
come in. But no matter who they bring in, they just they don't win consistently.
Right.
And so I look, okay, so Bobby Hurley's a name. He hasn't won consistently. That's been the modus operandi at ASU anyway. So I look around, I say, what name coach is coming in? Because I don't see that guy out there.
No.
I don't see that guy out
But do you need a name coach? I mean, look at the Suns. Just look across town. Jordan Ott's name was not at the tip of everybody's tongue. I mean, he's a respected coach.
You're in the Big 12 now, though.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. Look. When I need someone that when Kelvin Sampson walks out of a room,
Yeah.
or when Bill Self walks out of a room, I need my guy to be able to at least have them welcome me in, keep the door open. I don't know. I don't know that that's going to be the case.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that. I'm not saying you go out and you hire a Patino and a guy like to that level of.
Don't forget about Drew at Baylor.
But you need somebody that can go head to head with these legends of the
Sure.
game in the Big 12, because otherwise you're not going to compete. I'll even throw. I'm not even a big fan of him, Arizona's coach.
Absolutely.
You know? You need somebody that can stand in a room with them and not get pushed to the back. And you need at least that name. And I agree with you. You're not going to see that until the renovations are done and the money is backing this program. And the football program's getting it, but is the basketball team going to get it? By the way, Quinton's Kentucky. I was sure it was Kentucky, but I wanted to.
All
wait.
right, so it wasn't Patino
Yeah.
then. I guess Josan Sannon went to Rick Patino.
ASU kids going to Kentucky have had some success over the years, and along with Kansas. So keep an eye on that young man as well. But my final question this hour for you is: Bobby Hurley get let go in the middle of the season?
No,
If you make it to the end.
no, they won't. Yeah, he'll make it to the end for sure. For sure, no doubt about it. I just don't think that's not solving a problem.
Right.
It's not solving a problem, and so
Well, I mean, you don't get rid of a coach to improve per se. You do it to start looking for your next coach.
well, you can do that anyway because a lot of them
Nowadays.
congregate. A lot of them will congregate around the national championship game.
Yeah, Final
anyway.
Fours.
And so so you can you can still find a guy.
Yeah, it's going to be a fascinating year from that perspective. And then, anytime Arizona pops its head up and gets into the, Final Four, national championship contention, which they are this year, Arizona, it just puts that extra pressure on ASU. If they have an extra down year, it's going to be fascinating to watch from that perspective. But I do think the stadium, the locker rooms does play a role in this as well. So you are kind of a disadvantage. And I swear to God, if Bobby Hurley rips his jacket off and screams at the officials and gets attacked tonight, you might see me lose my mind.
Well, that bothers you.
It bothers me.
Look. It doesn't bother me at all.
It's because he looks childish,
well,
man.
look. I think it does two things from a positive standpoint. I think it can intimidate the officials or put them on guard.
The
for
officials
one.
don't care about Bobby Hurley.
No. Here's the deal. Because if you, I've been upset at coaches that appear to be too passive, and it seems like they just get they get hurled on. Now
agree with you on that.
now if you watch Kenny Dillingham shows that type of emotion
Right.
that you don't have a problem with. But you have a problem with Bobby Hurley showing that emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm telling you, I think it shows some fire. I think it shows that you care.
It shows something.
Yeah. Well, look.
So there's a fine line between ripping the officials and telling them how crappy they're being, and looking like you're an enraged lunatic.
Well, look.
He's more on the side of who was the
Mike Stoops
Mike Stoops down there. He's on that level where you just look crazy.
I disagree. Mike Stoops was over the top. He was over the top.
That's
crazy.
Bobby Hurley.
Well, Bobby. I'll tell you what. I
He
like to
snarled.
see. I like to see that passion in Arizona State basketball head coaches, because let me tell you this: Arizona State, when you say when you say Arizona State basketball, nothing really stands out. But Bobby Hurley is becoming the face of that basketball program, which is not a good thing for a head coach. You want a player to do that.
Yes.
But right now, that's where this program
Yeah.
is.
I mean, you look at Bill Self. He's the face of Kansas, right? But his players take over the side of it, right? When you look at the Patino, he's the face of the program, but his players take over,
that's
and they're
the
the
problem.
side.
There's no
And
players
Bobby
that
Hurley,
are taking over.
and that's the problem.
And
When Bobby Hurley takes his jacket off, and for 30 minutes, and then he's yelling at the official, and then a timeout happens, and he ignores his team, and he goes and yells at the official, and then he gets a technical, and he's just got sweat everywhere as he takes his jacket off. It's unbecoming of a head coach to be that disastrous.
My take is there's a time and a place for it.
Yes.
And when you are arguing out of your mind over a travel, non-travel,
Yes.
30 seconds into the game,
Yes.
I guarantee you the officials will tune you out.
I think that's what
well-
happened. I think that's what I've seen officials. I've seen officials look at Bobby Hurley and just turn and walk away as he's storming towards them. They're just like, I don't care. I'm not going to listen to you, and they just walk off. That's not getting you anything.
Look. I like what I see from Kenny Dillingham. Like I was watching.
He loses his mind.
I was watching the Iowa State game. And I agreed with him. I totally agreed with him.
Yeah.
It was BS. On the, they had 2 touchdowns called
Mm-hmm.
back. You know, the one that they called back for holding. I mean, that's BS. I mean, they showed the replay.
Right.
And so and so I don't mind seeing that passion. Now,
But Kenny Dillingham will yell at the official, because I watch Kenny Dillingham, and when I'm in the stadium, I pay close attention to him when calls go weird. He will yell at the official. He will lose his mind for a minute, and then he calms down. And he goes right back to the sideline again, and then just starts coaching again. Bobby Hurley is just for 45 minutes. That's all he's focused on.
I'll put it to you like this: I'm not at those ASU basketball games in person like you are, so you could probably see more of his theatrics on the sidelines than I don't see.
They
on
don't show it
TV.
on TV.
Yeah, because there's actual basketball going on.
Yeah,
So they do not show it on television.
And so to that, if he's excessive with it, then I would have certainly agreed with
All
him.
right, well, you're going to come to a game with me this
Okay.
year. We're going to sit down. We're going to just watch Bobby Hurley the whole game, because Dale's right. There have been games where, like, a minute into it, his jacket's off and he's screaming at an official. And I'm just like, the team's not even warmed up yet, man. What are you doing right now? It's infuriating to watch at times, and stuff like I do put him in the Bob Stoops category, Mike Stoops category down there in Arizona, where that guy just lost his mind constantly, and it was like, settle down, dude.
Yeah, well, look. I would see Mike Stoops quite a bit. They seem like they
The
always
TV
show
played
his-
it up.
But look, I don't see Bobby Hurley as frequently doing what you guys say he's doing. So, but if you're at the games and you're there to see that, then you'd know better than I.
Yeah. So really quick as we go to break here, here is Chancellor Johnson. Some national guys here, because I've been looking at this all day on national TV. They say this is what he says on national TV in his first collegiate game against the defending champs. Koa Pete played like a National Player of the Year candidate.
Oh,
And then he spends 2 minutes breaking down this whole deal and everything. So that's the recognition Koa Pete's got last night and today. And like Dale was talking about earlier, Koa Pete was kind of overlooked with these young freshmen coming in. people thought about him, but it wasn't at the level of some of these other guys that you named earlier.
Yeah. AJ
And so he's
Devanza,
there,
Darren Peterson, and even
got-
Emerson, Cameron Boozer.
Yeah, he hit. He hit the map last night, and he hit the map running. I don't know if that's the right term. He hit the ground running.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, let's take a quick break here. Come on back. We'll keep it rolling here. We got, of course, Cardinals talk. ASU has a bye this week, but we'll get your thoughts on the greatest quarterback to ever play at Arizona State, Jeff Sims, last Saturday, and more. Come on back, guys. Main event with Bruce Cooper. And we're back here. Main events Tuesdays with Bruce Cooper, talking a little college basketball. And I was telling Dale beforehand, I was like Seth Davis, big name college basketball guys. We're talking and hyping up all these freshmen, like Boozer, of course, anybody Duke freshmen that gets hyped up, etc. North Carolina, they get hyped up. Nobody was really mentioning Kobe. About halfway through that game last night, that Davis started mentioning him on X and and all that stuff, and it was like, all right, so now they know, now they're paying attention to the West out here a little bit, and the other side of it is Arizona's coach will mess it up. They won't make the Final Four because he'll do something and ruin it. He always does. Geez.
Well, he's a Gonzaga guy, don't you? I hear you're a fan of Gonzaga. You got them destroying ASU
yeah.
in the third game.
Do
of the season.
you not?
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know if you remember this, but Arizona State played the Florida Gators, who went on to win a national championship. And they lost to the Gators by 7 points. Then they went and played Gonzaga a few nights later, and they lost by 4 points.
Yeah, no,
so they were very competitive until all the injuries started hitting those kids. Yeah. And it just went downhill from there.
The bottom line is with Arizona State, we just don't know because it's just international guys.
Yeah.
How do they come over here? How do they play being away from their families? It's a different style of basketball over here.
Sure it is.
Yeah, they are coached better. You see international guys always go into the NBA and come here from the from into college, and they always play well. It's just, can they put it together? And I'm just not gonna lie, I have zero faith in Bobby Hurley.
Bobby's given very few reasons to believe in what he's doing.
Yeah, if I today was like, you could talk to all these mediocre coaches in college basketball, and then Bobby Hurley, and they can come and coach like your kid. And we'll do it for free, for you. I would look at anybody else before I looked at Bobby Hurley.
That's the way it is right now. That's the way it is right now.
Which is weird. He's like the Magic Johnson in basketball terms. Hey, one of the best point guards of all time.
Yeah,
but it doesn't translate to coaching.
Right, and I just thought that his name would be able to attract. Particularly point guards, and
he got some point guard, but then they get it, Bruce, and they can't shoot. Well, I've always sat in the stands and went, how the heck can he get point guards here and then they can't shoot the ball when that's what Bobby Hurley was good at?
Yeah, it's amazing. Look. this will be a very interesting season to watch because this is the first time he's really delved deeply in the international pool. And so, with that said, maybe he's able to keep players here because each year he's have a very he's turning over his roster like
Everybody.
10, 11, 12 deep.
Yeah.
No, but his is practically his whole team.
No, that's what I mean. It's everybody. Normally, you have
Sure.
like that guy at the end of the bench that sticks around because he's got nothing else to do, and his girlfriend goes to ASU, so he's just going to hang out. You don't even have that guy staying anymore. That guy's like, I'm dumping my girl and I'm out of here.
Yeah. So we'll see if the international players change.
I do think ASU will probably be mid to just underneath mid-level in the Big 12 this year. With these, that's my expectation. I don't expect them to be a bottom feeder.
Well, look, ASU moving from the Pac-12 to the Big 12 is a big benefit from the football standpoint, but it's a huge negative from a basketball standpoint. It's just the Big 12 is just deeper and more talented basketball-wise.
Coaches, you got how many Hall of Fame coaches
Sure.
in
Then
the
you
Big
have
12?
Pac-12. So yeah, it's a tougher challenge for the basketball programs. But if ASU ever wants to be elite, they're going to have to find that person. And to your point, they may have found that on the women's side with Molly Miller, but the jury is very much out on the men's side.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to continue to be, even if he has a great season. I just think after 10 years, and I say this about Torrey all the time as well. After 10 years, you know what you got. Will he pop his head up every once in a while? But is that good enough for you?
Sure.
So 3 Dayton trips in a row, well, that might be good enough for you. Then fine, you keep Bobby Hurley like they did. If you want something better, though, you got to make a change and move on. We know what we've got with him moving forward.
Kind of like your boy Kyler Murray. We got what we know what you got with him.
Before we get to the Cardinals here, because that'll be most of the talk here, ASU goes into Ames, Iowa, just like we all thought. I did not pick them to win, but I did put my $10 actually. I put on ASU to cover the 7.5 point spread, and obviously won that there. And everything, but ASU goes in Ames, Iowa, and wins. Jeff Sims, greatest quarterback we've ever seen. His jersey's in the Hall of Fame there at Arizona State now.
Yeah. How about that?
They didn't even wash it. Did you see that?
Look, I was very, very shocked by what I saw, and here's the deal. I've complained about his lack of consistency or accuracy relative to throwing the
Talking about Jeff Sims.
pass, and yet he came out. They gave him a couple easy throws early, and it seemed like it picked up his confidence because early on he was really finding receivers. I mean, Jalen Moss, Malik McLean. I mean, I was very happy with what. But once he had a turnover, it seemed like that's when he started overthinking, and he just wasn't the same passer. But all of a sudden, he became that runner.
Right.
And hats off to the ASU defense because they held the Cyclones to just 3 points the entire second half. And I thought we were looking at another one of those Mississippi State finishes, but ASU was able to stop the Cyclones short of the end zone, unlike what they were able to do against the Bulldogs in Starksville. What was that, third game of the year or second game of the year? So I saw a lot of things to get excited about because they don't have Sam Levitt anymore. You're not going to have him. And so if you can take this bye week to get some people healthy and then come out of the bye week, able to utilize the strengths that we saw that Sims has. And look, I like getting him outside the pocket, but man, he's just not very accurate on the run at all.
Well, you saw that in Nebraska. That was his downfall.
Yeah. And so I guarantee you teams are going to start defensing and stacking and waiting for that quarterback draw.
Yeah.
So you're going to need something different. And so, look, 6 wins, they're already bowl eligible. West Virginia, I thought that was a gimme win, but for crying out loud, they went into Houston and beat the Cougars, something ASU couldn't do at home.
And that wasn't a fluke win. That was they went in and dominated. And then West Virginia's got Colorado this week. And West Virginia could be coming into Tempe for an 11 a.m. kickoff next weekend with 2 wins in a row after not having a win in the conference when they're going up to Colorado.
And I said this yesterday, but let me reiterate it. I think ASU football's arrived when they become bowl eligible and it's an afterthought. You're still thinking about how many more wins can you stack up and where can you get and all that. It used to be, come down to ASU U of A. The winner gets to go to the Salad Bowl, and they become bowl eligible. You're both 5-5 or whatever, Sun Bowl. Or whatever. But they became bowl eligible on Saturday, and it was, I think it was mentioned, but it wasn't the headlines of the thing. It's like, no, bowl games are expected. We're expecting more for our program, which I think is a good spot to be in.
Well, look, Cincinnati going down as well. And keep in mind, they still have to play BYU. And they play Texas Tech as well?
They played BYU. They lost to BYU the other night, right?
I thought
they
it was
lose to Utah. You're right. Yeah, I think they play. I think they still play Texas Tech, but don't quote me on that.
Okay,
yeah.
but here's the deal. This is why I really wasn't giving up on ASU making the Big 12, because I said if BYU can run the table,
that's what they need.
Arizona State would be right back in this darn thing, but without Sam Levitt, I mean, I really have to admit that I have tempered my expectations.
What if they get Jordan Tyson back for the Colorado game? Look,
well,
West Virginia and Colorado, ASU with an injury-prone disaster of a team should be able to beat West Virginia at home, and they should be able to go to Colorado, who has quit on their coaching staff. They should be able to win both of those games.
Yeah.
So it's going to come down to that Arizona game.
But still, even if Jordan Tyson is back healthy, Jeff Sims has to be able to get him the ball via the forward pass, and I think that's the big conundrum or the big question mark relative to Arizona State having any success moving forward or any hope to backdoor their way in.
Yeah. Well, they don't need a back. They just need a win, and then if BYU wins out, they'll take care of the other things.
And by the way, Cincinnati's remaining schedule, they got U of A this week, or the 15th.
Yeah.
And then they have BYU, and then they have TCU.
Oh, TCU. It wasn't Texas Tech. It was TCU.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
they'll lose to BYU, so that gets them 2 losses already.
Yeah.
And Arizona State has 2. So you're looking to stack these teams up with at least 2 losses, because you're not really sure how the tiebreakers will come out. But I do know this, that they would hold a tiebreaker over Texas Tech.
Yes.
Because that's the team that worries me the most. Arizona State handed them a loss. If BYU can hand them a loss,
they play
that
this
would give
weekend.
them 2 losses, and ASU has a tiebreaker over Tech by virtue of their head.
But that's why you need BYU to run out, because
Yeah.
BYU will take care of the Texas Tech of the worlds and
Sure.
into that effect. And it just that's these big conferences. This is where it gets annoying. This is why I'm against these big conferences. It's completely out of your control. We have to rely on BYU because you don't play them. Last year, ASU got to the Big 12 championship game because the team's ahead of them. ASU played them, BYU being one of them, and they beat them.
But-
So they jumped leapfrog.
But ASU has no one to blame but themselves. They lost at home to Houston. If they had won that game, they still have everything in their control.
Don't disagree.
Yeah.
I'll
So
disagree.
even with big conferences, if they would just have won the games, they should have beat Mississippi State, and they should have beaten Houston.
Yeah,
See, I struggle with the Mississippi State thing though, just because they were down, guys, 17-0, and had to fight back.
Yeah,
to
but you
get
don't
into that game.
again. That's what you're talking about. You don't start off down 17.
No, you don't. But they fought their way back,
Yeah.
and they had the lead.
Yeah.
They had the
So
lead.
I know from that perspective, but at the same time, that's how I quantify it. Like, they were terrible at that point. Here's an interesting stat that came out yesterday, and somebody did the research. I should probably credit them, but I've seen it everywhere, so I'm not 100% sure who did it at that point and everything. But ASU is the only team who has played 8 games against teams all above 500. Only team in the nation. Tell me again how the SEC is the toughest conference in the world, Dale. Sell me on that.
Everyone on ASU's schedule is above 500.
Yep. NAU's 5-4. Mississippi State obviously is 5-4. Baylor's 5-4.
Well, that's going to
TCU's
change over the
6-2.
next couple of weeks anyway with
Yes,
West
with the
Virginia and
next two,
Colorado.
yeah. So now they're finally getting they're 6-3 playing every game against teams above 5. Now NAU's 5-4 and they're a good team, but they're not obviously Division I level, right?
You know, I actually watched NAU on Saturday.
I watched some of that too. They're actually
And
pretty good.
They had a chance to win the darn game. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, but it's just like that's the gauntlet that like everybody focused on the 4 games, and then it became 6 games ASU had. They've gotten through that now. Bye week here, get healthy, and and then Arizona fans are gonna be like, "You're just knocking Arizona," but Arizona isn't as good as the top tier teams that they've played so far. And not that it's not going to be a game, but their schedule got easy here for the final 3, and they can get to 9 wins and then let everything fall as it will.
Let me tell you something. Arizona has something that ASU doesn't have right now. They have a quarterback who can consistently throw the ball downfield and with accuracy. And so Noah Fafita, and look, I'll give Coach Brennan and his staff a lot of credit. You know, when Tetaroa McMillan left, you said, okay, they don't have that guy anymore. But I tell you what, they have infused some local talent. I mean, Trey Spivey, Junior Spivey's a kid, transferred in from Kansas State. You had Cooper Perry, the local kid from up
Notre
Notre
Dame.
Dame.
Yeah.
And they've had a few other kids from California that a bunch of no names, but all of a sudden, all they do is catch touchdown passes.
Yes.
Isn't that what Buddy
Yeah,
Buddy Ryan was?
yes.
Yeah. So
That was a Buddy Ryan or Chris Carter?
No, buddy.
Buddy Ryan.
Yeah.
he's talking about Chris Carter. He says,
Yeah.
"Oh heck, all he does is catch touchdowns." Yeah, and so they are a very formidable, scary team.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
Oh,
they
they can put up points.
took BYU to what, double overtime?
Oh, yeah, double or triple. I can't remember.
I think it was double overtime.
Yeah, on the road, bad weather. It was rainy that weekend. It was a little tough. BYU, played down to the competition. No, I'm just kidding with you. No, Arizona's an offensive threat but Arizona State's defense, if they play like they're supposed to, Arizona is going to struggle in that game.
Yeah.
Coming up, you get Prince Dorba back, maybe coming up against West Virginia next week. Tate Romney as well. That Arizona State secondary with Rouser and Crooks and Boogie Wilson.
Boogie Wilson has really been a find.
They stand out. I kid you not. Like on TV, it's hard to see it, but in person in that stadium, those 3 guys stand out. They could be running the football, and your eye will see one of those, if not all 3 of those guys, making some hard hit down the field, blowing through a block. Those 3 guys are amazing to watch back there, and they're hidden gems. People aren't talking about them, which I'm hyping them up like nobody's business because they just stand out the way they're playing back there, and that's a positive sign on that backside of that defense.
It really is, and you're mentioning a lot of their safety play, but I think they're getting good corner play from Javin Robinson and number 1. I'm losing his name. I mean, I think he got called for a couple PIs.
He did,
but I thought they were close.
Alfred.
Yeah. He's
Couple of those were bullcrap goals, by the way.
Yeah, so it really is. I do like their overall play from the secondary, and all of a sudden, I'm seeing the ASU starting to play this freshman offensive lineman.
The center,
Maquis Stewart, I believe,
Yeah.
and you got
then you got the center taking over for Ben Coleman. He's a true freshman. Yeah,
Puli Matea. I believe
they got some young guys in there now.
Puli Makula, I believe his name.
Makula.
Yeah, and so, but they're making some impact, and so I'm like, okay, I'm starting to, and anytime I see a season that I think that is over, I like to see the young kids play.
Yeah.
Right.
To start developing them, give them a little time.
Well, and then keep them happy so they don't transfer.
Yeah. But look, Kenny Dillingham's doing a very good job over there. I mean, look, in my eyes, they should be 8-1 as opposed to 6-3.
Yeah, but in reality, 2 losses probably. You could give them 2 losses. The question that Steve brought up yesterday I thought was fascinating. I don't know if you heard Kenny talking the other day, but they're giving the players and coaches the entire week off.
Yeah,
They don't report back till they're all through Sunday, and then they come back on Monday.
yeah, I heard that. Look, that's good. I mean, look,
Really?
I like it because he mentioned the fact that the kids are beat up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just need to get away. They need to step away, and I don't think that's a bad thing. And so if they come back, you expect the first day or two to be a little sluggish, but I think they'll.
He says they're going to hit on Monday to get back into the flow. I'm just a big fan. I asked Dale from in national football, from a perspective of a football player. You don't want kids out there on their own side. Like, make them come in, even if it's just to watch film, even if it's just to come in and, hey, we're having a pizza party. Everybody come in. So they're all in the facility still. They're all doing that. And they're not just sitting at home playing video games, eating bonbons. You can lose your conditioning pretty quickly.
Well,
That's all
and
I'm
here's the thing, Coop, and you know this from covering sports teams for as long as you did. Coaches are always deathly afraid they give you that much time off, and usually somebody gets in trouble.
Yeah.
Somebody gets in trouble, and you're keeping your fingers crossed. But I was even out under the fact I told Steve yesterday. I mean, when I was at the Cowboys, the coaches freaked out if we had more than 3 days off. Like, we're gonna forget how to run power with Emmett, running behind Nate Newton. Like, we could do that in our sleep. But they wanted to see you, in 3 days, even on our bye week. We'd obviously taper everything down, but they kind of wanted you to be around. Get away for 4 days, come back, and let's just work on a few things. But
Yeah, I mean, there's just small things you can do again, man. By the way, I said Alfred earlier. He's actually been injured for a while there. Abney is who I was.
Yes,
meant to
Keith
say.
Abney, that's the guy.
Number
Keith
one.
Abney.
I said the wrong name there. So to correct that, yeah. So I like the concept of giving him the week off and not being around, but in the back of my mind, like, this could get ugly against West Virginia. Coming back after just a week of
Well, Rich Rod certainly is not a guy that's not going to give you a lot of wrinkles from an offensive standpoint.
right.
So it's going to be incumbent upon that Arizona State defense to continue to play lights out. They need to play like they did. If they play like they did in the second half against Iowa State, ASU should be able to run the table.
It's just have a.
you see how many points U of A scored on Saturday?
Oh, man, they're playing Colorado.
Did you see how many points they scored?
52. And but I said, but the point is, if ASU's defense plays like they did in the second half, trust me, they won't even come close to scoring.
Colorado's defense, I'm pretty sure, didn't even take the
They
field.
scored so many points. Dion said nobody's talking to the media.
Even now, this week, he's not allowing the players. It's because of what some of the media people are saying about him. But he's not even letting them. They weren't available to the media yesterday either. Like, he's still holding on to that. Coach Prime's going to be relieved of his duties here. If not at the end of this year, it'll be next year.
Look, the honeymoon period is over in Colorado, and look that school made a lot of money off of Dion. I mean, they were on national TV every week.
I'll put it. They were able to pay Dion's salary because they did not have the money when they hired him, and they were able to pay it and make some more.
Yeah. Look, and every game was a sellout.
Right.
They he was the prince of princes in Colorado. I mean, he would go to Nuggets game and they would put his face up on the jumbo screen. Everyone would stand and cheer. So, but yeah, that's all over now. You have to win. You just have to win. And look, I know Dion's hired a lot of his buddies.
He's got Pat Shurmur as his offensive coordinator, and he ain't getting it done right now.
No, and so it's just not working. Who's the Hall of Fame defensive lineman from Tampa? He played with Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Warren Sapp.
Yeah,
The guy that likes prostitutes.
He has Dion hired Warren Sapp on his staff. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I am not a Warren Sapp fan at all.
He's a
I mean,
different dude.
I've had some issues with this dude. I mean, just in the locker room, just he the way he berates reporters. I mean, and the way he carries on, dude. I am not a fan of his.
Right.
He kicks down the pylons around the end zone before every game, and Dion actually goes and puts him back up, and then he'll go and kick him down again. and he like laughs about it and thinks it's funny because he wants the refs to pick him up and stuff. He's not a good dude.
No, he's not. Look,
not a good dude in, like, regular life.
I've had a real estate agent who was in Tampa. See, and I happen to know this real estate agent because they helped my son
Okay.
with a home down there. That real estate agent was telling me a horror story relative to Warren Sapp.
Yeah.
And so it's nothing that I'm going to share, but I mean,
No.
it's just he's just a bad
Yeah.
Yeah,
person.
he's a bad
And
person.
now
in
he's
general.
leading 19-year-old kids.
Yeah, Deanne hired him. Yeah, and to come there and teach him. Well, he ain't helping. That defense is atrocious up there. Robert did chime in and say that Quentin's, obviously went to Kentucky, but he tore his ACL a few months ago. Is what Robert says there for him as well. So that's the update on him. So let's take our break here. Come on back. Let's get into that Cardinals in-depth talk here.
Playoffs, baby.
We got to ask Dale here if Dale has ever had a play where he's had a crawl to try to find somebody to block. That happened to the Cardinals last night. I loved this touchdown run by Brissett. We'll talk about that and more. Come on back with Bruce Cooper, the main event. I got an idea, Dale. We're talking about it on
commercial.
air here. We're talking about the Cowboys and Bland last night
Yeah.
and everything. Kobe, while we're discussing this, that's would be the Marvin. I'm sorry, the holy cow. Which video would this be? I apologize, everybody. I tell you what, you guys just
Evan
yap.
Brown, Marvin Harrison.
Yes, this would be the offensive line. No, this is the blocking one here.
Okay.
Oh, the Marvin Harrison touchdown. That's the one that we were talking about there with the cornerback. We're talking about him. Big signing. Got injured because I kind of
Deron
mocked that.
Bland, Yeah.
I mocked that because I was like, I guess you got money by letting number one go to Packers.
Yeah.
So that's who you decide to see. Marvin Harrison Jr. touchdown. If you didn't see it last night, just stutter. Just literally, I don't even know what he's doing. Watch the cornerback. Look at this.
Dude,
I mean, that's just
I could
really
make that pass. He was so wide open. My gosh,
Did
that's
you hear Troy
embarrassing.
going into his laugh?
Yeah, he starts laughing. I turned to the Manning cast. I found the Manning cast clip of that version.
Oh, okay.
And they're laughing at him as well. And just good timing. Peyton's like, he understood the route, didn't rush into the route. And that is the best point to make on that play. Is as a rookie receiver, especially, ball snap, you want to go. Play it again, Kobe. Watch Marvin Harrison just delay this a little bit and do his little stutter step, which, of course, made the cornerback fall down.
Dude,
Look
at that
come on,
timing,
man.
man.
Come on.
That
I mean,
that tells me Marvin Harrison Jr. is grown as
Well,
a
that's the
receiver.
definition of breaking ankles. I mean,
Yeah.
that is embarrassing.
well, I tell you, Bland was thinking he's going to go towards the corner of the end zone. They're going to do the old throw it up and whatever, but there's no help inside. The way Troy started laughing, obviously he continued to laugh. You
Yes,
cut it off.
He kept laughing. They went back to it a couple
I
times.
just want to say something about Troy because I noticed it last night more than once. He wanted to tear into the Cowboys, and he was looking down a couple times when they had him on camera, and you could see him pursing his lips, he's disgusted with how the direction of the Cowboys right now, and he has been for a number of years.
Hey, look, I watched the Cincinnati Bengals defense against the Bears. Very entertaining game, but I mean, they are so bad. And then I'm watching. Look, I don't know who has a worse defense, the Cowboys or the Bengals. I mean,
Well, the Bengals offensive players aren't staying quiet like the Cowboys offensive players.
That is
guys
true.
are.
That is true. I mean,
Yeah, but how does Jerry start fixing things? He makes a trade for a Cincinnati linebacker.
Exactly.
was that the trade?
Yeah, that's the trade he
Yeah.
talked about yesterday. We made a trade today that's going to change this defense. Yeah. Well, to be fair, it's Cincinnati's best linebacker, but it's yeah.
Well, the best defensive player is
That's what he did.
Hendrickson
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Trey Hendrickson.
Yes, that's what Jerry made. Yeah, yes, he was all bragging about it beforehand and stuff
Jeez.
and things. So I mean, that play happened. That just showed me also, like I said, the growth of the receiving. Because a lot of times a receiver will just take off and then it's not ready to be there and the defender stays on you, right? But this is the play I'm talking about. This was the play. There'll be two replays here: when an overhead shot and then one from the from an angle from the field level here. Jacoby Brissett early on in this game, this is the quarterback sneak where he runs it into the end zone up the middle. This, I don't understand something here, Dale. You guys explain. One, I just loved how Brown is literally just crawling because nobody's there to block him, which brings me to my next point. Why is nobody there that Brown has to block on a quarterback sneak when you're on the 1 yard line? Why is nobody there lined up in that spot? Here's the play right here. This is the O-line blocking, Kobe, as well, if we can play that.
It's the first for Brissett.
We'll play it, the overhead.
Brown's the left guard.
Yep, 63 there.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Look at that. Dale, why is nobody there?
And keep the
Wow.
football on the
But it
quarterback's
gets better.
feet,
Watch
and
this
he's
angle.
able to punch
Even
across.
Frollo, look at him. He's like,
What a drive
give me
that
somebody.
was
Let me
for
hit
Arizona.
somebody.
11 plays, 74
You
yards.
do not ever run
And they
quarterback
needed to-
sneak against an even defense with nobody lined up in those A gaps.
Yeah.
That's absolutely crazy on Dallas's part, and you wonder why they gave up 35 points a game.
Yeah.
Where's the defensive? Is that a play call though, Dale, or is that a missed
Well, certainly
lineup?
it didn't look like there was one guy missed the line. It looked like that was a defensive call.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's what I
Dylan,
thought.
I'm going to ask you: is Eberflus is his schemes that bad? Because I don't remember Dallas's defense being this bad last year.
No, you've got to give a little credit. They've lost a bunch of secondary guys.
Well, and they lost Micah Parsons
Yeah.
because we saw what Micah Parsons did in Green Bay against the same Jacoby Brissett.
Yes.
Now, I will say this: I thought that was the best part of Dallas's defense was their pass rush. They
Right.
kind of mixed it up.
Which is what Micah does.
Jadeveon Clowney was really taking
Yeah.
advantage of Jonah Williams there quite a bit,
Yeah.
and I do know that when they brought in Kelvin Beachum as that, I guess, Chip Ryman type tight end.
Right.
I mean, he got
whooped, too.
yeah, he got a couple times. I mean, it's almost like a whiff.
Yes.
And so look, I thought the Cowboys they even brought a corner blitz, but I thought they were able to get home a number of times. But this is the thing that I noticed, and I'm maybe jumping ahead of myself because I'm going to talk about Brissett. When the Cowboys would come up with these sacks, and I think they sacked him 5-6 times last night, it would be 3rd and 18, 3rd and 14, 3rd and 19. Every time Brissett, if it was 3rd and 14, completed a 16-yard pass first down. 3rd and 18, completes a 20-yard pass.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's, to me, the single biggest difference that I noticed between Brissett and Kyler. Brissett seems to be able to consistently hit 3rd and long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's done it for 3 games in a row. He did it against the Colts. He did it against the Packers. Now, granted, those were losses, but that's the thing that I have noticed in 3 weeks is that his proclivity, his consistency in hitting on these 3rd and longs.
Okay,
I
but-
mean, wow.
Okay, so the way that I look at that is yes, obviously he can get the ball down the field, and the offense looks completely different under him. What I've also noticed is wide receivers are finishing their routes. Okay, they're not just standing there. How many times did we see when Kyler Murray was in their quarterback that Marvin Harrison just stopped, not thinking the ball's coming to him? Every wide receiver is running their routes because they don't know where the ball's going to go.
Well-
Jacoby's going to throw it to the open guy.
Let me ask you this. It's because Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett's going to stay in the pocket. Kyler, he takes off and runs. So why finish your route? Because you got to now find another area. to
You
run
have to be a professional. I mean, you can't do that. And so look, I see a quarterback like Josh Allen. I see a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. I see a quarterback like Lamar Jackson. They constantly get outside of the pocket. You don't know, but I don't see Kelsey or Rashee Rice or anybody like that stopping their routes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they make their quarterback look good. Dude, come on, man. I'm not buying that one.
Yeah.
I'm not buying that one. But
I don't either, by the way. I just throwing it out there. Kyler Murray's problem is he bails. The second one guy gets even close to him, he's bailing and running with the ball, and Jacoby Brissett stands there, takes the hit, and delivers the ball.
But look. I remember a couple years ago, the Cardinals had a quarterback named Joshua Dobbs. He came in. He was doing some really electric things. I mean, people were excited. I mean, he was bringing excitement. He was bringing late game drama and dramatics that he was pulling out. So you got excited. But then it waned off. It started to taper off.
It's going to happen with Jacoby,
so
too.
they traded him to Minnesota. Again, he started that uptick
Well, they
again.
got Kyler back, and that's why they changed.
And it waned off.
Yeah.
All right. So Jacoby Brissett, look, he's been in the league for 10 years. I think he's been on 6 different teams. He is who he is. He flashes. Now, look, this is a good flash. Now, keep in mind, we've seen quarterbacks come in and they get hot. I think Joe Flacco did it with the Ravens, and I think that one season that he did allowed teams to pick up the phone like the Cleveland Browns and say, hey, look, we need to come back.
Yeah,
And
but
so-
he had that good season with the Browns. He came off the couch, had that good season with the Browns. Joe Flacco's had multiple seasons where he's flashed. Jacoby Brissett has had multiple seasons where he's flashed. That's the difference between like a Colt McCoy or some of these other backups, like a Joshua Dobbs. He flashed once, but not again.
And so while I would say that there's no way, and I can't. This is just in my mind because I know Gannon and Austin Ford, they're going to do what they got to do. They continue to say nothing's changed as it relates to the quarterback
got that
situation.
clip.
But from where I stand, there's no way I'm sitting Brissett and inserting Kyler. I'm going to
not until it falls
I'm going to let I'm going to let him ride that wave.
Yeah.
And if and when it falls off, then I make the.
Well-
but here's the deal: there's no question. He is not my franchise quarterback.
Oh, no, absolutely not. He's getting you through this lull of a quarterback. But, I mean, Dale famously went through a Troy Aikman, Steve Walsh.
I told the story. It wasn't Steve Walsh. It was Steve Berline.
Steve Berline. I thought it was. But it was tearing the locker room apart. And that's if the Cardinals go back to Kyler Murray for, let's say, this weekend's game against Seattle, you can't tell me that's not going to affect this locker room.
It will, and here's the deal. I would really love to see Brissett really stay in this game because I think this game will tell a lot. Because when he went and played the Colts, the Colts secondary decimated. Played the Packers. Like I'm not sure what's up with the Packers. They were beaten at home by the Cleveland Browns. They were beaten at home by the Carolina Panthers. I mean, there's something about this Packers team that plays down to the level of competition. Now, granted, they tried to rally in each one of those games in the fourth quarter, and they were only successful against the Cardinals. Now, Micah Parsons really turned it on in the fourth quarter against the Cardinals that allowed the Packers to get the ball back offensively and do what they had to do. So, but here is a game against Seattle. In Seattle.
Best front seven in football.
Yes. And so this is going to tell us a lot about Brissett. It really is. So I would hope and pray that Gannon does not go back to Kyler. Because see, Kyler's not going to have a good game against Seattle because Seattle's one of the better defenses.
I agree
If they were going to bring him back, Monday night would have been a game because we all know the Cowboys' defense stinks. They're allowing what?
So let me
points a
tell
game?
you, I can tell you the story again because Steve obviously didn't listen.
No, it was Walsh from Miami. It wasn't Berline. It was Walsh.
He didn't pay. Oh, you're going to tell me.
I'm going to tell you. It was Walsh.
So in 1991, Steve Walsh was not on the Dallas Cowboys. You can check that. Why don't you go ahead and Google it? It was Steve Berline. He was the backup to Troy. Troy got hurt. Steve comes in. We win 1. We win 2. We win 3. Now Troy's getting healthy again. We win 4. Now Troy's healthy. We win 5. Troy's really healthy. We win 6. We go into the playoffs. Troy's fully healthy. Jimmy stays with Steve Berline because we're on a 6-game win streak. We won that game. Go to the divisional because that's a wild card game against Chicago. Then we go play Detroit.
You won the wild card game?
You won the wild card game
with
Steve
Berline?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, up in Chicago.
So that's 7 wins in a row
Yes. And so he started Steve in the divisional playoff game in Detroit. I think he could have started God himself and we would have still gotten beat by Detroit that day. But it was one of those things where Troy was healthy for about a month. And Steve was on a roll. And Jimmy wasn't going to make the change. So you're kind of alluding to that here with the Cardinals.
Sure.
The fact that now, hey, if Brissett goes out against Seattle and throws for 98 yards and they get beat 31-3, now it makes it easy to bring.
Right. But if you go to Kyler now against a
Yes.
team that is so great defensively, all he's going to do is
Yes.
make it look worse for Kyler.
Yes.
I just want to go on record and say, folks, Dale is correct. It was Steve Berline. I'm going to point that out to everybody.
So Steve, wow. So the Cowboys won 7 straight games, including the playoff with Berline
yeah.
before they
What-
lost.
what was-
Now, who was the Lions quarterback in '91?
Well, that was when you had Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders had a run in that game. I'm forgetting who the quarterback is right now. But he had a run that game where every one of our defenders had a shot at him.
In the backfield?
Yeah, in the backfield on the side. And some of them had 2 shots at him. And we didn't tackle him.
Yeah.
And they went to the NFC Championship game that year and whatever. But
What-
no, they were on a roll.
What was the locker room like, though? That's what I was trying to get to. What was the locker room like with Troy healthy? Everybody knows he's healthy.
Yeah.
And staying with Steve because you're winning.
You're winning
What's
is the
it like?
reason. And you're winning is the reason that there was not a whole lot of pushback from the locker room. Even though
And then what was it like when it went back to Aikman?
Well, that
the
was
next
until
season.
Well, that's what I
following
mean.
year.
The next
It's the
season.
next
So
season,
nobody,
which
there
is
was
fine.
nobody was like, well, Berline got
No.
us here. We need
No.
to stay with that.
No.
It doesn't matter at that point.
No. So
That's
again,
what I worry about. You're going to ruin your locker room. I have a feeling because everybody
Yeah.
sees what we see, except for Gannon, apparently.
Well, look, I just hope that they stick with Brissett, and I'm so dialed in to watch him against Seattle because if he does what he's done in the 3 games prior against Seattle, then we definitely have a Steve Berline situation.
yeah. Well, because and again, whether Kyler is fully healthy or not healthy, you beat Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
In Seattle.
You beat Seattle in Seattle with Brissett.
Yeah, you know the crazy thing
Sam
about
Darnold.
about the Cardinals and Seattle, the Seattle would win in Arizona, and Arizona would win
Yeah.
in Seattle.
That would
But
be
I
like
guess,
a
but I guess
6-3
over the,
game.
but I guess over the last 4 years now, Seattle has kind of swept that. But the games in Seattle, even though I think the Seahawks have won 8 in a row over the Cardinals, every game in Seattle is close. I mean, even last year, it was a stupid Kyler Murray intercept. I think the guy took it back for a pick 6. That because it was just like a 1-point game for the. For
and
forever.
Kyler does that stupid thing where he throws the ball he shouldn't and gets intercepted.
Yeah, he gets rattled.
Yeah.
He gets rattled under pressure, and he makes. I mean, it was a game before he got hurt. Maybe it was still the same game against Tennessee. He's near his goal line, and they're about to
that was
sack him.
Tennessee game.
And he just threw it out.
Just go,
Dude, come
dude.
on, man.
Yeah.
He had 7 opportunities to throw the ball to open receivers and didn't do it because he's staring at the defenders and things to that effect. Here is, well, first of all, speaking of Kyler Murray, we have to point this out. Kyler Murray famously took a ball off the face on a snap, went into the locker room with a concussion, came out with a foot injury. And it's the most amazing thing we've ever seen. We have to show this. Last night, the Cowboys blocked a punt. Let's show the block punt here. Look where this ball goes off the Cowboys defender
Yeah.
as we go on this here. So Cowboys blocking this punt last night.
Almost missed it.
Well, you see Sam Williams, he just comes right up the gut. There's really not much resistance whatsoever. He's right there. They were close
I
on
just
three
want to
minutes.
point out, yes, it was a block
And
punt.
this time
Yes,
they're
he
able
went
to
down and get it.
score,
Look at
but
this.
needing a spark here in this first
I
half.
would just like to say 54. I hope your foot injury heals properly. Just heals on time, man.
I
I
promise you
wish you
that
the best.
hurt a lot more than Kyler Murray
Yeah.
taking a snap off the face mask.
I just hope his foot recovers and he's able to continue his career someday.
And there's two things I want to talk about. Okay, first of all, yeah, I think that Kyler is probably fed up playing in air. This is just my opinion. I have
I
nothing
agree.
to base it on.
I agree with you.
I just think that he's thrown in the towel. He feels that he doesn't get the support from the fan base, doesn't get the support from the media, and now his
From his coaching staff.
yeah, but now it seems like the team would prefer Brissett over him.
You
So
can see that in the locker room, I
yeah,
imagine,
yeah,
right?
yeah, and you can hear in the post game last week, and
the
you can
first
hear in the
game.
post game yesterday.
The first game. Wilson went to the media in front of his locker after the first game Jacoby Brissett played. It's just calmer out there. It's just a calmer experience out there in offense.
Sure.
So the first game you were hearing
Right,
it.
and so I've been looking around because I know the Cardinals aren't going to trade him before today's deadline.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't do that.
No.
You're going to wait till the offseason. I went and I found 7 teams.
Seven?
Seven teams. I think that would trade for Kyler Murray.
The Browns are one of them
The Cleveland Browns are certainly one of them.
because they like that running style quarterback. They want that
But-
running
They like
style
to waste
quarterback.
money.
And they certainly don't have anything with Gabriel or Shadur at this
Right.
point.
Yeah.
So they're one. Another one would be the New York Football Jets.
Jets with
Yeah.
Aaron Glenn.
Yeah. Look. Their owner already came out and blasted Justin Fields.
But see, that's my problem with that because Kyler Murray is another Justin Fields.
Well, I think it's completely different. See, Justin Fields is not an accurate passer. He's like Jeff Sims. He's more athlete than he is a thrower.
I agree with
So
that.
Kyler, look, people may forget this, but Kyler, I was looking up some numbers because I was looking at over what I could sell in terms of a trade.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler's thrown 121 career touchdown passes,
Go back and look.
and he's run 32
Yeah.
touchdowns. He has over 3,000 yards rushing, over 20,000 yards passing. He's Rookie of the Year, 2-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
So he's had some success
Before Drew
That-
Penzing and Jonathan Gannon got here.
So that's going to sell well with these other teams.
Mm-hmm.
So the Jets are another, and that stay in the AFC East. The Miami Dolphins they have to wave the flag on Tua Tagovailoa.
Just a
Not-
similar quarterback. That's
Well,
my problem with the
well,
Jets.
well,
You
the
don't
pro-
you,
but-
don't
but-
you want to change your quarterback style?
Yeah, but here's the problem with Tua. I mean, he's just so concussed that you have to move on, and he's just turnover prone
Yeah,
right now.
I agree with
So
that.
so those are 3 teams. Now let's stay in the South. The New Orleans Saints would be one.
That's an
I mean-
interesting one to me.
Yeah, the Saints have 2 young quarterbacks in Tyler Shuck and
They're not sold on Rattler.
Spencer Rattler. Yeah, 2 local.
Shuck's their future,
So
they
so
think.
there's a 4th team that I think that would might do the trade. Now in Las Vegas, the Raiders
Pete Carroll.
would certainly be that team.
I don't know if Pete Carroll's going to give up on Geno.
Dude.
I bet you can get
they-
Pete to buy
they-
into
they-
that
they-
Kyler Russell.
they
The
are-
quarterback isn't their problem. Their offensive line and their running game has got awful.
Well, look, they have a nice running back in Ashton
Yeah,
Kutcher now.
just
They
he has
can't
no
get-
place to run.
Yeah. And so that's 16.
Kyler would open that up though if
and-
you got him out and
Yeah,
you tried to run.
and the 7th and final team would be a division rival, the LA Rams.
Oh yes, let's ruin the Rams by giving them
And-
Kyler
and let
Murray.
me
I
tell you
like that idea. Let's do that right now.
No, well, let's put it to you like this: the Rams didn't even know if Matthew Stafford was going to come back and play this year.
Yeah.
So Stafford's on his way out.
Oh, he's done.
He's on. So he's probably done after this year.
He's
So
coming up.
they don't have a quarterback.
Yeah,
And put him with that
And,
coach.
and it's,
yeah. That's
Dale,
fine.
that's what I'm saying.
Can I give you
You-
one more team?
Okay.
Washington Commanders.
No, the Commanders have Jaden Daniels.
Well, do they?
Yeah.
Do they? He's awfully injury prone.
Well, he
Bring
took a-
Kyler Murray in as a backup.
Look, when you trade Kyler, you're trading him to be a starter.
I don't disagree, but man, Jaden Daniels taking some stuff. I'm just telling you.
Nah, so those are 7 teams.
Rookie contract.
And I think
You can afford it?
I think Kyler could command a first round pick from
You
each
are-
of those teams.
I'm
Bruce,
with you all the way.
Are you drinking? Do we have alcohol in here?
I'm with you all the way till that.
I think
Yeah, I get
he
that
can
first
bring
one.
back. Look, teams are so quarterback desperate.
I understand.
And look, no. Here's another team. I forgot this team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. See, Aaron Rodgers is done after this year.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, who's their coach going to be? Tomlin's days have to be numbered there, don't they?
Probably, but look, in Pittsburgh, you never know. They're all about stability.
Well, I agree, but
I'm not going to argue that. But Pittsburgh Steelers would be another. Look, I'm giving you 2 veteran teams in the Rams and the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Their quarterbacks, they're gone after this year. Their position at quarterback is wide open. They are not bringing in some. And
Rookie guy
they
off
won't
the
have a high
No.
draft pick anyway. But they're not bringing in some rookie to be.
And this rookie class is not worth a darn anyway.
Right, you're absolutely right. So I think that those teams would give up a first round pick for because
I don't disagree. Should they? Yes. Will they? That's another story.
Yeah. Hey, Coop, it's not even December yet. Can we stop with all the draft? Are you next week coming in with a mock draft?
Well,
The Cardinals got number 6.
No. This is about the Cardinals trading away Kyler Murray. So now you got to ask yourself, okay,
They owe him
you're
90.
going to have to re-sign Jacoby Brissett because you traded away Kyler. Now you're going to have to re-sign Brissett. Now you have to go out and find your franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
Which the Cardinals have been
And
stellar
they've
at
been
all these years.
look they have
Was it-
Kyler's been their most successful quarterback that they've ever drafted in the first round. I mean, Matt Leinart and Josh Rosen. I mean, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
They found their-
Well, you know-
before they came to Arizona, they drafted some kid named Kelly Stoffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have found their really
Tim
good
Rosenbaum.
quarterbacks. Yeah.
Well, he was
Well,
supplemental.
First round draft
Yeah,
pick.
don't forget Tom Tupa before he was a punter. But the Cardinals have had success at quarterback when they've gotten them off the free agent,
Older free
Hump
agent
wire,
quarterback. Their 2
yeah.
best quarterbacks, Carson Palmer and Kurt Warner.
Absolutely.
I mean,
So
then you got to go
so
back
that's
to
why-
Neil
so that's that-
Lomax
so that's why
where
you-
they were at. Yeah.
Well, they drafted Neil.
Yeah,
out
that's
of
what I'm
Portland
saying.
State.
But I'm saying to go back to there to get real good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Right.
it's just been failure after failure
Absolutely.
after failure
Absolutely.
after failure.
Absolutely.
For a lot of reasons out there. So within 3 starts, Jacoby Brissett has completed 65% of his passes, thrown for 850 plus yards, 6+ touchdown passes, a rush for a touchdown, obviously as well. The only other NFL quarterback to do that in his first 3 starts with the team, Kurt Warner, back with the Rams in 1999.
Kurt Warner ran for a touchdown?
Back then he did in his
Wow.
first 3
That
games.
was-
He was
that's
a sprung
25
young guy.
years ago.
He was a sprung guy that
You
year.
ran
when he
for
went
a
in there.
touchdown one day.
Who was that? Trent Green broke his leg.
Yeah.
in
Hey,
the
look, let me tell you
Rams.
something. Kurt, to me, Kurt is the ultimate pocket passing quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a very cerebral guy. His pre-snap reads are Peyton Manning-esque.
He missed a
And-
couple yesterday. He missed a couple of the blitzes yesterday, and he didn't get up and sulk about it. He was like, all right, let's just play
No,
again.
you're talking about Kurt Warner.
Oh, Kurt Warner. Oh, yeah, he missed blitzes all the time because he just unloaded the ball quickly. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
but
was looking at Jacoby stuff. I got ahead of myself. I apologize, Brady.
no. But I look. That's where I see the Cardinal situation. I like your Steve Berline example. I will actually use that going forward because I think it's
Yeah, don't say Steve Walsh.
I think it's very analogous and applicable to what's taking place with the Arizona Cardinals. Now, Cardinals need to do like Jimmy Johnson and just go ahead and stick with the hot hand.
Yeah, and again, if they go out and get boat raced on Sunday and Kyler's healthy, okay, now you bring him back.
Yeah.
But not until.
Jonathan Gannon, after the game, I tuned directly into the press conference because I knew it'd be one of the first. I'm surprised it wasn't the first question last night. Gannon on his quarterback situation. It happens quickly. Listen carefully.
Yeah, nothing's changed on that. Yeah, I got nothing to add on that, guys.
In between that edit, he says, I just feel like it. I just feel like it. I just feel like it. Nothing's
And
changed.
the question I'm assuming is
is Jacoby
Kyler
your
your
starting
starter?
quarterback? Yep, that's the question. And he goes, nope, nothing's changed. Look, it's obvious something has changed. There's 1,000 ways to answer that. You've been in 1,000 press conferences. There's 1,000 ways to answer that, to be ambiguous. But the fact that he keeps saying nothing's changed, Kyler's our guy, is infuriating.
Well, did he say Kyler's his guy, or just say nothing's changed?
Well, nothing's changed, so that means
that like you said, it's ambiguous. It could be that.
Well, that's true. Maybe he's saying
Yeah, Brissett's going to be out there this week,
nothing
too.
changed.
he's been saying all along, when Kyler gets healthy,
Okay.
Kyler's my guy. That's
All
what
right.
he means by not changing. But then he goes, I just feel that way. This isn't about feelings, man. We got here's the stat that I went and found this, and Next Gen Stats had it for me last night. The Cardinals ran play action on 56.8% of their dropbacks against the Cowboys last night. That's the highest rate by any team in a game this season.
Look, let me tell you something. I don't know why the Cowboys were even suckered by the play action, because the
the running
Cardinals
game?
aren't running the damn ball at all.
But what do they not do with Kyler Murray as quarterback? They never play action because Kyler Murray doesn't like to turn his back to the defense. He likes to not see what's happening in front of him, apparently, while he's looking at it.
Well, they do have.
I love it.
They do have some designed rollouts off play action where I noticed but Kyler catches the ball and he kind of like turns his back halfway and then he kind of. But I just don't think the Cardinals get him outside of the pocket enough. I mean,
I agree with you
I mean,
on
for someone who's passed for over 20,000 yards and 121 touchdown passes and has over 3,000 yards rushing and 32 touchdowns. I only know this because I looked it up last night because I'm trying to work out a trade. And I'm like, wow. I certainly forgot that he made 2 Pro Bowls and was Rookie of the Year.
Until Jonathan Gannon and Drew Penton got here, Kyler Murray moved the ball on offense. They scored a lot of points. He threw the ball down the field.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of wonder. I give Drew Penting a lot of grief of the way he calls the game with Kyler Murray. He is not calling the game that way with.
How
Jacoby
about
Brissett.
this? I don't know if you guys caught this. Maybe you talked about it already. It was, Cam Cox shared with me a story from Marvin Harrison Sr. on ESPN.
Yes, that was yesterday.
Yeah, and I'm like, I said, well, when Cam's reading me the quotes, I'm like, dude, I said the first thing that comes to my mind is Marvin Harrison Sr. is making excuses for his son, because I don't give a rat's behind what offense you're in. When the ball hits your hands, you got to catch it.
That's what I said.
There's just There's just no question. Our eyes saw that the man is dropping balls right in his hands.
I also said it sure is easy to say comments like, that's what everybody's taken away from it, is when he said, I would not be a Hall of Famer if I played for the Cardinals today. And I said, you're a Hall of Famer because of the guy throwing you the football, sir.
And again,
Cardinals do not have a Peyton Manning on the other side of the ball there.
You would think that a guy who's been through all that would know better than to strike up a firestorm like that, number one. And number two, when Steve brought it up, because I completely forgot about it, although this is the same dad who got his son involved with the fanatics and the fraud and whatever else is going on. So maybe it shouldn't be so surprising that he's coming out and saying something like that.
I mean, it's just I read that article yesterday, and I was actually just kind of like, I get it. It's your kid, but why do you put that out there, especially with those? Because I go instantly to the fanatic situation. Why are you putting your kid in that situation when he comes in the league and now you have to sue it and you have to pretend like he didn't sign it even though he did sign it and all? And I'm just like, that's just bad parenting.
The one thing none of us took away from it, that I took away from it, was he said the Hall of Fame would send him an envelope. Well, how damn small is his Hall of Fame jacket that can fit in an envelope?
Good point. Yeah, but again,
I didn't catch that.
Again, though, but I mean, he's just making excuses for his son. You have to be honest with your kid, son. Your focus is off. Whatever nuances.
He had a ball last night early in that game. He was catching all those balls, and he had one hit him right in the hands, and he dropped it. But nobody paid attention to it. Nobody. I put it in the back. He dropped the ball, hit him right in the hands. He came back for it and hit him in the hands, and he dropped it. But he was right in the midst of catch. But you forgive that stuff when you're actually catching other ones out there. and not when you're dropping them and then not participating in the offense side of. So the Marvin Harrison Sr. yesterday just annoyed.
Well,
the living
I'll say
crap
this:
out of me.
I can't remember the game, but Marvin has just been having a terrible game and a terrible season. And he caught a touchdown pass in the end zone. He went to his knees, looked up and got, and he's praying.
That was that second half game where he dropped all those balls early
right,
and was
okay.
terrible, and the crowd was booing
So
him.
since that time, he's really started to play
It seems
and catch the football.
Yeah.
Yes.
It just, but he's got a confidence. Okay, I'll even say at this point, because it just hit me. I've said all year long, he doesn't know the playbook, Marvin Harrison Jr., or he doesn't know what to do when Kyler Murray scrambles. Because I saw a lot of plays where Kyler Murray would like signal to him, like, go, and he would just be standing there. Right? A couple of the interceptions earlier this year was because he stopped routes and stuff. It's either that, he didn't know the playbook, or he doesn't know what to do when Kyler Murray scrambles. He looks a lot more confident now with a prototypical quarterback that sits in the pocket and he just has to go run a route and not worry about the other stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't know what to do when a quarterback scrambles.
Yeah, I've seen that too because, matter of fact, when the network goes to replays and you see Kyler, they give you a different perspective. He's scrambling. I'm saying, Marvin, dude, why are you just standing there? Run something,
He literally stops and he just stands there. You watch him stand there.
You're taught in high school. Your
Pop
quarterback
Warner.
scrambling, help him, run to him, find an open space so that he can get the ball to you. The last thing you do is stand there.
Yeah.
And he does it a lot. In the games I go to, which is every game this year, he stops a lot and just stands there.
Look, I know he's a tight end, but Travis Kelce probably does better than most.
Yeah.
I mean that's why Patrick Mahomes and he
Can find
can find each other. I mean, because Patrick scrambles a lot. He gets out, and Travis Kelce, he just doesn't stand there.
And he knows where Travis is going, and they just didn't have their lead. But you're seeing the confidence with the route running with Jacoby Brissett. That is a big difference with Marvin Harrison Jr. He can run the routes great and be open. That extra stuff.
I can tell you this. I don't know if Kansas City even calls routes for Kelce. I think Kelce just runs to open space.
Well,
He's not running on the route tree. He's not running ones and twos and bang sevens these guys. He's just going, there's an open space. I'm going to be there. And Mahomes knows he's going to be
in the last three games, just rack your brain here, because we saw it a lot with Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr., where Marvin Harrison Jr. would stop, interception. Kyler Murray would throw it and miss Marvin Harrison Jr. completely. Has that happened? It didn't happen last night. Jacoby Brissett didn't hit him every time, like on that fourth down play, hit him flat. But there hasn't been a play where Jacoby Brissett has thrown a ball and Marvin Harrison has been nowhere near where that ball is going. It's like they're on the same page because he's able to go run the routes, and that's his job. Hey, Marv, go run your route, and the ball will be at you. He doesn't have all that extra stuff out there. And I agree with you. And he's a dad, I get it, right? But for Marvin Harrison Sr., I just don't get why they sit down and go, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to talk. Oh, crap. Larry Fitzgerald's dad used to do that. It drove me nuts. Stop it, man.
Well,
Stop it.
look, I was really good friends with Mr. Fitz. Matter of fact, we still talk today. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. That man hated his son, and he would get mad at Larry because he thought that Larry, his son, could demand more and not just acquiesce as much as you do give in. And so, because Mr. Fitz, he is not about to sit up there and look at loss after loss after loss pile up. Look, man, you are Larry Fitzgerald. You can demand more from this organization. And so,
I don't know if he liked me or not.
Fitz Senior?
Yeah, Fitz Senior. I'm not sure
he
really.
seems like, I don't know, but he seems like a cantankerous old man.
But I will tell you this: I was broadcasting a football game. This is probably 5-6 years ago now, in Minneapolis, doing a Golden Gopher game, and I got in the elevator at the stadium, and he gets on, and he looks at me and he goes, "What's up, Snapper?"
That's probably a term of endearment.
Okay. Yeah. Oh no, I think it was, but he recognized me.
Yeah.
But I thought for some reason he told me told you he didn't like me, but
No.
okay.
No.
All right.
No.
He just seems like he
No,
just seems like one of
look,
those old time journalists,
well-
Dale. That's just crazy. Like,
Well-
he has a weird viewpoint on life. And,
Well, here's the
Skeptical.
deal. Here's the deal. And I can't blame him for wanting the best for his son.
Yeah.
All right. So, but as you know, I'm up until we had Kurt Warner, or up until you had Carson Palmer, it was
Oh,
4 and
Max Hall.
12, 3 and 13, and so he's telling his son, you can demand more from this Cardinals organization. They need to get better players, and so. And look, he
You can't
wasn't
argue-
wrong.
you
You
can't
can't
argue
argue
with
that.
it.
He's
No.
not wrong.
No.
And so, but yeah, he would get frustrated because Larry would just kind of sit back and let the Cardinals.
See, I can understand that type of a
bring in the Kevin
frustration.
Cobbs or the.
Well,
Max
Max
Hall.
Hall. Yeah, remember those experiences?
So
Robert says, "What's a little fraud between father and son, right? A family that frauds big companies, fraud together there." As we go, trade deadline today at 2 p.m. Our time coming up. We'll have to see. Do the Cardinals make? No, they're
I
not
don't think
going
they're
to.
going to make it.
They're not going to. They're
I
not
think
going
I think if they would have lost last night,
you think?
I think they could probably have sold a
I-
player or two.
I believe
but-
Calais Campbell was being shopped, and Calais Campbell has made it clear he doesn't want to go anywhere. Obviously,
and let me
but I believe he was being shopped.
And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Calais Campbell, he was the difference in the Carolina game.
Mm-hmm.
He stopped him, and he had 2 big sacks to thwart Dallas last night. So this 39, 40-year-old man is still making plays.
Did you hear him talking about Walter Nolan Jr. after the game?
I did not.
It was like he's so great. He's explosive on the ball. He was just excited to see him play out there. It was just kind of
They might
refreshing
hit
to
on
see.
one.
So
And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something from that game. I started thinking about Monty Ossenford and what we've said
Yeah.
about his draft because
Yeah,
I'm telling
yeah. Well, he
you,
got one.
players were making plays. Will Johnson,
Yeah.
yeah.
Denzel Burke, Cody Simon.
Saguaro alum.
In addition to Walter Nolan,
Yeah.
you had 4 rookies who made significant plays last night.
I know for the Niners game, I'm going to have to look at Monty's beautiful mom there who sits by us, and I'm going to have to turn around to her and go, I apologize. I shouldn't have knocked your kid. Kobe, throw up the show picks here real quick. We all know what happened over the weekend. Somebody chose the wrong team last night. I thought I might have been off
boy.
air, but at the end of the game, at the end of the show, Dale goes, can't believe you picked the Cardinals tonight. And I put money on the Cardinals last night as well in that game. So, Dale, another losing week for you.
Dale, this is an outrage, man.
McCollum on Business is going to be around noon today. Just an FYI for you guys. We have some things going on beforehand. Bruce, as always, thank you, man.
I
See you
appreciate it.
next week. And then Suns, we'll have a couple more games. Golden State tonight under our wing as well. And going to be fun week. No ASU this week, but Cardinals Seattle. Ooh.
I'm predicting the Suns win tonight. Not so
Golden
much with the
State.
Cardinals in Seattle.
Well, I mean, Golden State was looking ahead of the Suns. They lost to Indiana last game. Try to say it with a straight face. See y'all later, everybody.